Today on X-Play, a new console is born. Smell the processors. Witness the majesty. Threaten to drop out of school if your parents don't buy you one. It's game time.
Prepare to be reviewed.
Adam Sessler. Morgan Webb.
Prepare to be reviewed.
Prepare to be reviewed. This is X-Play.
Hello and welcome to X-Play.
Take a moment, take a moment. Can you feel that? That is the collective sensation of awe and wonderment felt the world over as this most special of day approaches.
A console is about to be born, bringing with it infinite possibility for pleasure, joy, disappointment, and bad Japanese role-playing games.
And we are here, the midwives of American gaming culture, ready to receive the placenta-soaked PS3 into our loving hands.
That's gross.
Yeah, well, the birth of a console demands the poetic imagery.
Well, it also demands a nice video retrospective of PS3 previews.
Because anticipation is the third best part of playing a game, right after playing it and mocking your friends who are playing it.
And we've got trailers of some of the biggest titles we're going to be seeing within the launch window.
Launch window is a phrase that translates very poorly from the Japanese.
It literally means way of getting you to buy a console when it only has 3 buggy titles ready to ship.
But back to the Tokyo Game Show, Morgan and I got to play most of the games coming out for the PS3 in the next few months.
And later in the show, we'll give you our initial hands-on impressions of these games and the PS3 itself.
But we have to begin with the origin story of the PS3, how it got its powers and acquired its arch nemesis. Here's our look back at the road to the PS3.
PlayStation 3.
As the November release date for the PS3 approaches, gamers from around the world may finally have something to exhale about. At long last, the final version of the PS3 will be set and flying off shelves. Let's take a look back at the mileage traveled to launch, the beautiful views and costly tolls experienced on the road to the PS3. It's E3 2005, and Kaz Hirai hits the stage like a corporate rock star. Stepping up to the mic, he delivers the hit, and the crowd goes wild. Like a truck too late to dodge, the promise of Sony's next-generation console hit our eyes and ears. It sounded out of this world, going so far as renaming the central processing unit as something more like a hive that content would swarm out of. Even the controller looked like a mental challenge. And when would this high-res symbol of synergy be out? Spring 2006. If you needed any evidence of this console's strength, you only had to see Next Gen Killzone, E3 2005. This, they said, is what you could expect from Next Gen gaming. There's also MotoStorm. Mud never looked this good under skies that looked as complex as if a Flemish pastoralist had painted it himself. With the approach of E3 2006, all eyes were on Sony. The emphasis this year seemed to focus on the PS3's muscularity as an entertainment hub for all your digital amusements. The PS3 will be a global pipe, pumping games, internet, films, and MP3s into our homes like a storm drain after a hurricane. But where were the games? They looked different. Gundam looked a little less polished, and where was the next-gen Killzone? And was striking this crab on a special spot and causing massive damage indicative of next-gen gaming? Thankfully, a new, more aesthetically conservative motion-capable controller was unveiled to replace the boomerang. And then there was the price, $599, with the less expensive version not including an HDMI output for true high resolution. There was cause for concern. A new release date is announced, fall 2006.
We're set to launch the PlayStation 3 this November.
Once again, all eyes were on Sony. The Tokyo Game Show 06 thankfully brought better playable versions, an ambitious display, and a new attitude focused on launch. Lair played well. The graphics and game features delivered on some of the promised grandeur. The $500 version would come with an HDMI port after all.
PlayStation 3.
Maybe things weren't so bad. Demand would still be high, and initial low release numbers will cause some Best Buys to be torched. But at least the road to the PS3 is almost over.
Blow it up.
stupid Killzone footage, promising me a glimmering next-gen future full of beautifully rendered realistic carnage. But now we must pull back our expectations and learn to love the PS3 for what it is. And for a clearer look at what we can expect from the PS3, here's a preview of Resistance: Fall of Man.
The Chimeran threat began in Russia. The origin of the virus is unknown, but its effects were devastating and swift. In the 1930s, reports of biological experiments began leaking out of Russia. We feared the Russians had developed a weapon of unparalleled power. The truth was far worse.
You're with me, let's go!
Graphics are starting to make me woozy.
It's just a normal case of interconsular recompression. You just need to breathe deeply and remember what life was like when you went from the GBA to the DS.
It was like having fingers for the first time.
Speaking of doing things for the first time, you guys should head over to G4tv.com/xplay to tell us whether you'd be willing to pay more than retail price for a PS3 at launch. And we're going to have your results later in the show.
Up next, we trace the PS3 through its gestation on XPlay. We couldn't afford the premium version, so instead we got Morgan Webb.
Welcome back to XPlay. We are wrapping ourselves in the toasty warm blanket of the PS3 launch to relish this glorious moment in the evolution of electronic gaming. So to continue our PowerPoint presentation, here's a look back at what we saw from the PS3 at the Tokyo Game Show. After a less than stellar E3, Sony finally has a chance to blow everyone away at TGS with more polished titles. And sure enough, they have delivered with more games, more details, and yes, more problems. First, the bad news. See, Gran Turismo HD is not just a press conference demo. It's a real game, and it's considered a precursor to Gran Turismo 5, whatever that means. But what it really seems that it's like is an excuse to charge PS3 owners online content fees. See, about 90% of everything in the game, like from courses to cars, is going to be unlockable only by purchasing it from 50 cents to about $5, meaning to unlock everything in the game, it's going to cost about $400 to $1,000. It's not cool. You, Polyphony. You. And the good news? It's pretty much everything else. Go look. This is Devil May Cry 4. Now, this is the first time it's been playable on the show floor. Now, you don't play as Dante, you play as Neo, who looks a lot like Dante, but he has a possessed arm. He can do combos and he can grab people from across the room. Now, Capcom's really hoping to get this out for the PS3 at launch or around launch, and you actually do come into conflict with Dante during the game, so people are kind of excited about that. There's a new trailer unveiled for Metal Gear Solid 4 this year. Now, the big news is the autocam has been revealed. It is a chameleon-style visual camouflage, so he doesn't turn invisible, he just blends in with everything that's around him. Now, it's not a sneaking mission, and this is according to Mr. Kojima. When you look around the game, it's usually in first person, but when you start shooting, it's Resident Evil 4 style. It goes into third-person view. Kojima has confirmed they have about a year left to go on the game, so we're looking for it at the end of next year. This is Resistance: Fall of Man, which is shaping up to be the PS3's big launch title. And another exciting thing is the online play is going to have up to 40 players in the final version. And of course, it's made by Insomniac, which is Ratchet & Clank, so we're expecting to see a lot of really creative weapons. You know, like Ratchet & Clank, but with more blood. how sleek and silvery and gigantic the PS3 is. It's like a Cylon battle cruiser. Or a hibachi.
You know, I'm mostly just excited the concept of having a Sony console doesn't look like it's constantly about to break.
In a moment, Metal Gear Solid 4 on X-Play. Complete with 3.2 gigahertz SPEs, it's Adam Sessler.
Welcome back to X-Play. We continue our celebration of the coming PlayStation 3 with a preview of one of the most anticipated titles. Now, Sony may be closely associated with wispy androgynes and zany Japanese gangs, but one core franchise does always have the real man cred. Here's a look at Metal Gear Solid 4.
These trailers we've been getting have been a bit vague, but our capacity to scrutinize is limited by the intoxicating confusion of the lush graphics. For yet another amuse-bouche of a trailer, here's Coated Arms Assault.
Day to day, our brief exchanges start. A new rush of feelings entering from these eyes and courses into this heart. How tricky it is to close your eyes and see your heart smile. And so I start to question.
他のビジターとは違うよね。ビジターの排除、それが私に与えられた使命。HV モード移行。みんな死んだの。彼らのリアル。ここにはあなたの欲しいものは何もない。
神楽に侵入したビジターに警告する。この先リアルな死があなたを待っている。さあリアルへ帰りなさい。
Oh, the excitement. The PS3, like Santa Claus at an extinction-level environmental event, are almost here. I can taste it, I tell you.
What does a PS3 taste like?
Copper. Can I smell burnt toast?
Okay, Morgan's having a stroke again. We're gonna take a commercial.
It happens every time they release a new console.
Actually, it's a blood clot in the brain.
Oh.
Up next, hands-on with the PS3 on X-Play. Poorer but happier. It's Adam Sessler.
Welcome back to X-Play. Well, Morgan seems to be recovering from a mild stroke, and we're continuing with our lead-up to the launch of the PS3. I got to spend some time with Sony's new console at the Tokyo Game Show this year. Here's a look.
Right now I feel like the luckiest kid around. This is Devil May Cry 4 from Capcom. Now, rumor has it, they want this one out this year. The little I've just played, I'd have to say you want it out this year as well. It's a little bit different. You'll notice a few things. Your primary character, it's not Dante. Yeah, it looks like Dante. It's not Dante. It's actually a character, Nero, and he pretty much has the same combo moves, but there is one special thing. Let's see if we can show it. Yeah, that's his arm. It's kind of a possessed arm, and it can grab onto objects and slam them into the ground. Trust me, it's satisfying. Another thing you can notice with the game is that the graphics are definitely of the PS3 standard and not what we were used to on the PS2. It's looking really good. You'll see a lot, hopefully very soon here, in the creature design, which is definitely more nightmarish than anything I've seen in the previous games. Well, that was Devil May Cry 4. A small taste, but a rather satisfying one. Once again, Capcom, get this one out. This will definitely make buying the PS3 this year a little easier. All right, this is the big launch title for the PS3, Resistance Fall of Man. And it's got one big thing going good for it. It's made by Insomniac Games, and those are the guys who also made Ratchet and Clank. And you'll see a lot of the qualities of that series in this one, even though it looks completely different. So it's an alternate reality from World War... Well, there was no World War II, but what there was is a strange alien invasion that looks like it came out of what was then the Soviet Union. There's something I want you to see. The game pauses when you switch weapons, just like in Ratchet and Clank. What that means is that they expect you to be using a lot of the different types of weapons very rapidly throughout the many battles that are in this game. Another thing to notice with Resistance is that it looks much better than it did back when we saw it at E3 and people were wondering what the big deal was. So, at the end, this still will probably be the biggest game that's going to come out at the launch of the PS3. And now that it seems to have decidedly improved, there's a much better reason why it's going to have that status. Oh. All right, this is Lair. This is from the Factor 5 guys that did the Rogue Squadron series. Well, I got only one thing to say about this game. Dragons. Lots of dragons flying in the air, hurting other dragons. That's awesome. It also takes advantage of the motion sensitivity, and this controller may be the one to do the most with it that I've seen so far. Let's definitely take a look. So I'm going to mount my dragon. All right, I just had to say that. That was an obvious one. So, okay, let's find something to hurt. Now I'm locked onto him, and now I'm going to start to use the controller to attack him, like that, which is awesome. All right, now we're tangling with him, and now we're fighting in the air between two dragons. The design of that dragon is exceptional. That was really, damn. One thing about the motion sensitivity is you actually try to use it in a very dramatic fashion. If I want to turn, I'm going like that. You really are using the buttons both to fire and to whip your dragon, more or less as you would a horse, and get some momentum going. We're not going to learn much more for a little bit, because we're not going to see this one until sometime in 2007. So this game is dragonly awesome.
Glory be! Morgan appears to recover from her PS3 anticipation-related stroke.
I heal quickly.
And just in time for video viewer mail.
Oh, man. Today's video viewer mail comes from Matt.
Hey, Adam and Morgan. I was just wondering, what do you guys think the worst game of all time is?
You know, we talk about this a lot. We have a couple worst games of all time.
Yes, I don't know. Dragons 99 Dragons, even though we usually say Aquaman, I hate that game even more. I don't know why, but I hate that game more.
I reviewed a game a long time ago called Crimson Tears, and God, I thought about clawing my eyes out. I think I did lose a little bit of hair.
Well, you cried blood, which is appropriate for the title because you're Crimson Tears. Oh, I'm clever.
Mega Man X7, that game holds a special place in my heart. It's this dinging sound that it makes every time you lock onto a target that's identical to the UPS dinging sound.
There's a lot of crappy games out there. We want to be asked, actually, what is the most forgettable game that we've ever played?
I don't remember.
I know. There was that one that was out there.
With the guy?
Yeah, you did a couple of things in it. And
yeah.
Then, anyway.
Okay, well, you know what? We knew that guy's name was Matt because it was in his email address, but in the future, please actually say your name in your video viewer mail.
And if it's one of those complicated names, spell it, too. So anyway, come on over to G4tv.com/xplay and keep the video viewer mails coming.
This internet age communication was brought to you by XPlay.
Today, on a special 2-hour Attack of the Show. 3, 2, 1, liftoff! The long-awaited launch of the PlayStation 3 is finally here, and we've got the most in-depth coverage of the console anywhere on the planet. From the hardware to the software, we're going to break it down for you to the most minute detail. And we've called in the experts for a complete analysis of all the games available. Strap in. For the next 2 hours, we've got everything you want on the PS3. And it starts right now.
What's going on here? Pick up on this. Attack. Attack of the show. Attack.
For a PlayStation 3. Oh, come on. It's just a flesh wound.
Just a shoulder.
Welcome to Attack of the Show's PS3 Day 1 special. We are TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. My name is Kevin Pereira.
And I'm Olivia Munn. What's up, everyone? We are coming to you live from the G4 studios in LA, and the launch of one of the most anticipated consoles of all time happened Today,
that's right. At 12:01 a.m., I think, to be exact. The console war has officially
it'd be like
begun.
12 a.m.
I'm assuming that they had to go in and get one and then go to the register,
well,
so I'm factoring that in.
At midnight.
And I rounded up.
But you shouldn't.
But I did. I did it for the kids.
Oh, all right.
The Wii launch is coming in 2 days.
Yes.
The 360 is thriving with Gears of War, probably their biggest title ever. And of course, finally, the PlayStation 3 has entered the ring today.
For the next 2 hours, we will fill you in on exactly what the PS3 is about and its place in the future of gaming. We will be bringing you worldwide coverage, calling in all of our resources, and we are going to need more than an hour to cover it.
That's right, the wait is finally over, and Attack of the Show has gathered our Justice League of experts to bring you everything you will ever need to know about Sony's new system. Everybody at G4 came out of the woodworks.
Yep.
They're ready, they combined their rings.
We became a big transformer.
That's it.
One big conglomerate.
Environmentally friendly transformer.
And guys, after the show, we will also have new episodes of X-Play and Cheat, where they'll give us their takes on the games and take us inside the next generation of gaming.
All right, now after all the hype, the press, the madness, the PlayStation 3 is finally ready to blast off. There it goes. Straight for the international eBay station.
It was beautiful, but that was like a silver PS3. Do they? I mean, aren't they black?
Yeah. It's cool. It's a special thing.
Cool.
It's
it
a
was
special
beautiful.
thing. It's the ceramic tile, so it doesn't burn on re-entry.
Oh, you're smart.
We're not even 24 hours into the launch, and things have gotten way out of hand. In Connecticut, around 3 a.m., a gunman robbed patrons in line outside of Walmart. I was laughing at the dog. Whenever you have to bring out the canines for a video game, you know something is really screwed up. One person didn't give up the cash. Sadly, they were shot.
Yeah.
Doing fine, though.
They are doing fine. The victim was wounded in the chest and shoulder, and thankfully reports are coming in that he is in stable condition. Now, there's also been other reports of robberies and fistfights.
Thief should use active reload. That'd have taken him out.
Yeah, that would have
Gives
been
you a damage bonus. I'm just saying. At a Circuit
City. Like a gamer. Unfortunately,
so wrong.
it's just a game, and the guy had a real gun.
This
Kevin.
is true. This is very true. At a Circuit City in Fresno, there was a near riot, actually, when all the people in line were told to move to the sidewalk.
I love this.
And there was going to be a raffle to see who gets the system. Here's the funny part. Yes. For some reason, for some insane reason, someone decided to make it a race to get the tickets. And then, of course, that turned into Fight Night round PlayStation 3.
That's amazing.
And there you go.
Yeah,
that guy totally deserved it. You saw him cut right there.
Look at
I don't
that.
care. What a douche.
Okay, that one guy in the red shirt was so much bigger. That guy should have stepped down.
Yeah, if you know that guy and you're on his
Yeah.
MySpace, defriend him.
Well, yeah, they blew they blew the whistle. The guys did this crazy race.
Yeah.
It's, you know, basically, if you're going to say today is a big day for gaming, that's a huge understatement. And we are going to be here for the next 2 hours to cover it all.
Yes, all the Darwinian sprints we can handle.
And maybe Kevin and I will fight at the end.
Oh, we totally will. To the death, just for
you
kicks.
said I could taser you one day. You promised.
I did not. Never
You
said
did
it.
promise.
We're
Bring up
talking to
the
the
Daily
fans.
Net, you'll see.
Enough of us. The gaming experts are here, the fans, and of course one of the top dogs at Sony, Kaz Hirai. Yep. In fact, Zach Selwyn was at the Sony store in New York, and he's going to show us what went down at the official launch site.
And we've got the coverage from the lines here in LA where midnight launches were just as crazy. Police have been called to several stores and reports are coming in through the day about what transpired at each location. You laugh every time.
It's
People
sad.
are getting hurt.
It's sad. We've got so much show today. There's so much going on. We, of course, needed to call in the clan to give us their hand and lend us some expertise.
Yes, and thankfully none of them have 3 X's or 2 T's or a bunch of letters in front of their names to
That'd be elite,
make
though.
themselves cool.
That would be elite.
That would be.
Okay, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb from XPlay are here. Guys, what do you have in store for us?
We've got a little history lesson. I mean, it seems like we've been hearing about this console for forever and a day now, and we will show you the road to the PS3.
And we'll also demo Resistance Fall of Man and show you how it looks getting into a 20-on-20 multiplayer match. We're going to tag out. Let's get Blair Butler and Will O'Neill into this ring.
Being the reigning comic guru, I'll of course have to tell you what I thought of Marvel Ultimate Alliance for the PS3.
And I'll pop the hood on the console and tell you what kind of firepower it has inside and if it delivers. And last but certainly not least, Cheats Kristen Holt is here.
Hey guys, I'll be dropping by later on to give you the tips and tricks on how to get around in Genji, the samurai hack and slash, where real battles are faithfully recreated with some giant crabs thrown into the mix. Let's go back to Kevin and Olivia.
Thanks, Kristen.
Thanks, Kristen.
All right, now we've got a sealed PlayStation 3 in the studio. Only the lucky ones manage to get their hands on one of these.
Guess who's lucky?
For once, we're getting lucky, but sadly, this is the closest thing that I'll have to sex on the show today.
Until
Bring out the PlayStation 3.
Oh, wait, careful, Pereira, careful.
Okay, good.
It is beautiful. You guys, we are going to pop this box's cherry, undress it, show you what is inside. God, Kevin, should we be doing this on TV in front of everyone?
Oh,
I mean,
tastes
it feels,
so good.
kind of dirty.
You're just nervous. Don't worry, we're going to take it slow, baby.
All right.
We're going to ease into this sucker.
Wait.
Ooh,
nice.
let me just get that himsy.
I can't believe
himsy
we're
little
both
flap
doing this
out
at
of the way.
one time.
Oh, I knew it was going to happen eventually. Oof. Now let's get into it. Come
Yeah,
on, let's
right,
go.
okay.
What do we got?
Okay, we've got cardboard.
Taking it out? Cardboard!
Woo!
There's a system in here
There is
somewhere.
a
Hold on.
system
What
in
do we
here. Can we do it together? Some teamwork?
Oh, I got it. Got a controller. Huh? Look at that.
I got
a little bag.
I got an Ethernet cable.
You got an Ethernet cable?
Yeah.
That's cool. You could probably suffocate an infant with that plastic bag too. So
Right, nice.
2 for 1.
Got that.
In case the next gen gaming isn't fun enough.
Now, what's great about these controllers?
Help me with this here.
Okay.
What's going on? It's so weird
Be
with this
careful,
music
be
going
careful.
on.
You guys, you ready for this?
Sure.
Is anybody ready for this?
Oh, wow.
nice.
Okay, no. Take it off slow. Take it off slow.
Okay,
Give me a little show.
Wait, don't forget the manual.
Work it for the camera.
Okay.
Work it. Yeah. Woo! Yes! Yes! Oh!
Don't get behind me!
No, I was trying to over the shoulder. Oh, look at it. That's the PlayStation.
Wow!
All right, and now, Miss Munn, it's time for the ceremonial tongue bathing of the next generation console.
Go.
Oh, you're gonna throw it back to me? Yeah.
I like it.
You think they're going for a lot on eBay? Wait till you get this one out there. Oh.
That was a lot of fun, and I think I need a cigarette.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, but this would be a good time
I
to
might
start.
actually call this one back in the morning.
Let me just say, the best part, Talladega Nights comes with this one.
Oh, yeah, Will Ferrell. Come on. He's next gen. All right. Can we get a towel? Clean yourself off, sweetheart. What is that? I'm going to go use a shower.
Okay, great.
All right.
You went the wrong way with that. This is sacred.
Of course
Kevin
it is.
Pereira.
It is. You're right. You're right.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful.
Spider-Man font, really?
How much do you think we can get for this after the show?
Well, we're going to talk about that. We got an eBay segment coming
We
up,
do.
and I'm going to tell you exactly what you can get for one of these.
So you guys, we cannot cover the PS3 news all by ourselves, especially not just from Los Angeles. And luckily, we have our roving investigative reporter, Zach Sullivan, out and about and just helping us out.
Zach was at the Sony launch event in New York City where the first PlayStation in America was sold by Kaz Hirai himself. So let's throw things over from the west side to the east side.
Yo, it's Zach here in New York City at the Sony Style Plaza. We're here to witness the dawning of a new era in gaming. Yes, we're counting down the minutes until the launch of the Sony PlayStation 3, y'all. How you doing? Angel Paredes, my man, came out here. When'd you get here?
Monday night, 8:30.
First guy in line. What are you most excited about playing when you get this thing?
Probably Call of Duty 3, Resistance of Man. Those two, basically.
Here to play the PS3, baby!
I gotta introduce the guys who made this whole night happen. My man Sir Howard Stringer, and also my man Kaz Hirai. Make some noise for him, y'all.
Thank you for being so enduring out there in the rain and the cold, and for being so loyal to PlayStation. We're obviously proud of PlayStation, but you made PlayStation happy.
Kaz Hirai, my main man, big evening for the PlayStation 3. Did you expect the kind of turnout that you got tonight?
Well, you know, we saw the crowds forming as early as Tuesday this week, so I was thinking to myself, this could be a pretty big crowd, and as it turned out, we have lots of people waiting for the PlayStation 3.
How many units are actually going to be leaving these doors this evening?
Well, I don't know. You know, we're going to try to make sure that all the people lined up can go home with the PlayStation 3, but if not, make sure that they can come back in the morning or the day after, again, and try to get those units to them as quickly as possible, because we don't want too many people waiting in line and having to go home empty-handed.
First in line. That's a happy fella.
Thanks so much, Zach. And make sure you guys stick around later in the show. He will be back with the people stuck in the rain waiting for their shot at a system. Yes, Kevin,
Right.
this is the console, everyone. And
Yes.
this is the controller. This is
Right.
everything you need, the most important
Right,
item.
it comes with next-gen twist ties.
Okay, Kevin.
Okay. It's PS3 day one, and every jerk with a blog has an opinion about what's going
Yes.
on, of course.
But right now, we'd much rather be talking to you guys in the army of monitor heads.
Do you think Resistance Fall of Man will be the best launch PS3 game?
That's a really good question. It's clearly the best reviewed game so far. I mean,
Right,
we
and I think there's a reason for that. It is probably the best launch game, yeah.
Well, we played Motorstorm yesterday, which looked really cool.
Right. But Motorstorm's a demo that you get of a game that's not coming out for a year. When it comes to the launch titles, you can look at Resistance, or you can look really at Ridge Racer, which is getting a lot of good buzz. But you know, you gotta if you're one of those guys and only got the 20 gig hard drive, don't forget you're going to be throwing 5 gigs of Ridge Racer on that drive to play it with halfway decent load time.
And most likely, most people are going to have the 20 because all the 60s went first.
Well, 60s are totally gone. So
You
some
can't
people
even
had to
get
settle for the 20, and so for those guys, I feel for you. But to answer the question, yeah, Resistance definitely is the must-have title for the not-so-must-have console.
Not so must-have console.
No,
wow.
I'm very excited for it, and I'm going to say that, but we're going to say why.
You can't touch it.
But no, I want to touch it. I just didn't want to wait in line for it.
Okay, everyone. Over the past few years, Sony has made a lot of huge promises. Some launch titles didn't even materialize, and the number of consoles available dwindled the closer we got to November.
Yeah, Sony says the next generation of gaming is here, though people had to sleep outside for days or fork over huge amounts of cash for the chance to be a part of it. The stores are cleaned out for now. Without a doubt, people are willing to do anything to get this console. That's why I'm saying it's a little crazy. Desperate times, people. Desperate action.
Things have gotten drastically out of control. I mean, someone got shot outside of Walmart today. That's crazy. We want to know what you guys at home think. Is the PS3 worth taking a bullet for? Vote on our website, G4tv.com/AOTS, or text your vote to G4TXT. That's 44898 to vote and register for AOTS Live News
People
Alerts.
are going to say yes.
Bullet.
People are going crazy for this thing.
A bullet for?
They will say yes.
Do you want a PS3?
Watch. I want the only news that I need to know.
Really? Well,
Here's
I can give you that
Layla
for free.
with the feed headlines.
Thanks, Kevin. Here's what's coming up in the feed.
First up, a shot has been fired and it's heard around the gaming world. And I'll tell you where first blood has been drawn in the next-gen console wars. Plus, the PS3 launch has generated everything from midnight parties to pre-dawn stampedes. Ask me nice and I'll give you the details. And finally, some eBay users are turning a tidy profit on their precious PS3s. It's all coming your way in the feed, but first, back to you.
So did you guys get left out of today's launch? It's okay. We are here to make sure you get your fix. Coming up next, X-Play's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb will be dropping by.
That's right. We're going to break down some launch titles and give you a little PlayStation 3 history lesson. It's got a sordid past. And of course, later on the show, we're going to give you some help on where to find one of your own. I know a lot of people want that info. It's PS3 Day 1 on TV's only source for all the next-gen goodness you care about.
The road to the PS3 has been a long and winding one, but we're here to lead you in the right direction. And from the hard drive to the Wi-Fi, we're tearing into the PS3 on AOTS hardware.
According to a recent survey, over 9 million U.S. consumers are prepared to pay full price for the PlayStation 3 when it launches. But with the PS3 costing almost $600, what will you sell to buy it?
I'm selling my baby. I sold 5 pints of my own blood.
I sold my sperm, because I didn't need it, and I can make more.
PlayStation 3. What will you sell to buy it?
Attack.
Welcome back to the show. We are live on PS3 Day 1, bringing you 2 hours of coverage in the midst of gaming history. That also means there's a new console to pwn kids on. Let's go over to the man who knows how to make all the children cry, Mr. Kevin Pereira.
They thought they were getting candy. That's funny. That's right. We're about to take a closer look at the launch of the PlayStation 3 and see exactly what this console has to offer. So buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for a game break. Joining me in the studio right this very moment are the gaming experts themselves, the host of X-Play, Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. Come on now.
No, keep it going.
You might as well take advantage of it. Welcome, kids.
Thank you. You know, I am actually just like you. Whenever someone tells me about someone getting punched in the face in the live,
You giggle, right?
I giggle a little bit. It's a little funny.
It's like a gag reflex. It's the best press that Sony could have gotten, unless he didn't get shot. Then it would
Right, then it kind of, well, that kind of pushed it over the edge. Because now a lot of the news stations are going to talk about how violence in video games, maybe there's a connection, I don't know.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it because, you know, of course, all this crazy PlayStation 3 lines and violence, etc. Did the launch meet expectations, or was it overshadowed by the critical injuries that happened?
I think it's become almost a fiasco. Nobody can get their hands on it, and a lot of the problems are caused by just really pathetic mismanagement on the hands of the individual stores involved. Like telling people to go make a new line over there after you've waited for 3 days.
That is mind-bogglingly stupid.
That's not a good idea.
We're going to play musical chairs. You 500 angry, tired, sleep-deprived people, go ahead and fight.
Exactly. I think as long as you're looking forward to not getting a PS3, it was a smashing success.
Sure.
It's really, I mean, we went from 4 million to 400,000. We think it's hovering around 200,000. You're trying to make this like the seminal moment, and it's amazing. Though what I find funny is I'm asked all the time still, is this deliberate on the part of Sony? Are they trying to short their own supply? To which I say, no, that's crazy.
Okay, all right, that may be crazy, but Morgan, is it crazy to wish that Sony might have had a little more foresight and maybe held off on releasing the console until they could have met demand?
No, I feel like this is one of those examples of the marketing department saying, it's going to be out on this date, and the developers in the back going, we're not ready yet. And them just not communicating, and they're like, no, we have to have it out by the holidays, and this is the situation that we get.
I think we're really going to better understand this launch in a couple of days, because I'm waiting to hear if there are problems. We're hearing reports of problems with the HDMI cables and Panasonic high-def cables.
Anecdotal at this point.
Yes, it is anecdotal,
but yes, we've heard
in a couple of days we'll get to know if this is happening, how pervasive it is, and when you're selling a $600 piece of technical equipment, the expectation is it better work, and that's going to really hurt people that may have tried now, and if they're going to try later.
Well, let's assume that there's maybe 3 or 4 people out there that actually got a unit. They take it out, they hook it up, it actually works. They didn't put it on eBay, believe it or not. What games do they have to play? I mean, is there any software really worth going for right now?
If you have one, you better get Resistance. After that,
What about Mobile Suit Gundam? Isn't that supposed to be next-gen awesomeness?
Remember when that came out at E3? Everyone was like, that's awesome! And the mech is like clamoring through the city, and everyone's like, it's gonna happen, we're gonna have a good mech game.
Then we saw it at TGS, and like, oh my god, they're putting us on with that terrible footage.
Right?
You funny Namco Bandai guys, oh my god, you told the truth.
Right.
There's frame rate problems in this game, even though it looks like some caca I'd find on my PS3.
Yeah, I mean, it's like their idea of like an outdoor setting is canyon wall. I mean, really, the Roadrunner in Coyote wouldn't go there to have fun. It's really cynical and almost disgusting that a game like this would be launched as some kind of like next gen representative.
All right. Well, Morgan said that they made up for it with Untold Legends: Dark Kingdom. Isn't that really the? Oh wow! She just shot laser beams at me for saying that. She said it was worth picking up.
Did you play it on the PSP?
I did play it on the PSP. Yeah.
Yeah, it's about the same.
No, I mean,
Except there's like fewer characters that you get to play.
Yeah, I mean, it's really
same old button masher, same old repetitive.
It's the button masher. Now, obviously, the catch of this is supposed to be that this is from Sony Online Entertainment, right? And you can get online. Now, it's funny. It's kind of just like the single player. I mean, it really. It's pretty graphics, but the gameplay. What people need to realize is that next gen can't just be a polish on something.
Sure.
You have to be allowed to play a game in a way that you haven't played it before. More characters, various environments that you could have different branching paths. I mean, even that's the old gem, but that's not even like really an option.
You swing your sword or your hammer, whatever you happen to have, and it doesn't feel like you're making contact with anything, and that's like a PS2 lesson.
But doesn't the controller just rumble right out of your hands? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna see, it's ironic because it's a fit.
Yeah,
all right,
okay.
we're gonna let that go. Later on in today's show, though, we're gonna take a look at Resistance: Fall of Man.
Yes, now that's something to be very excited
It's a
about.
PlayStation 3 game that Adam is actually excited about. But first, we've been following the PS3 from the very beginning, and since the first announcement at E3, it's sort of been a roller coaster ride, I think, for everybody.
Well, no, we have been stalking this console since day one, and now that it's launched, it can finally lift that restraining order, and we're gonna take a look at X-Play's road to the PS3.
PlayStation 3.
Now that the release date for the PlayStation 3 is finally here, gamers around the world have something to exhale about. At long last, the final version of the PS3 will be set and flying off shelves. Let's take a look back at the mileage traveled to launch, the beautiful views and costly tolls experienced on the road to the PS3. It's E3 2005, and Kaz Hirai hits the stage like a corporate rock star. Stepping up to the mic, he delivers the hit, and the crowd goes wild. Like a truck too late to dodge, the promise of Sony's next-generation console hit our eyes and ears. It sounded out of this world, going so far as renaming the central processing unit as something more like a hive that content would swarm out of. Even the controller looked like a mental challenge. And when would this high-res symbol of synergy be out? Spring 2006. If you needed any evidence of this console's strength, you only had to see Next Gen Killzone, E3 2005. This, they said, is what you could expect from Next Gen gaming. There was also MotoStorm. Mud never looked this good under skies that looked as complex as if a Flemish pastoralist had painted it himself. With the approach of E3 2006, all eyes were on Sony. The emphasis this year seemed to focus on the PS3's muscularity as an entertainment hub for all your digital amusements. The PS3 will be a global pipe, pumping games, internet, films, and MP3s into our homes like a storm drain after a hurricane. But where were the games? They looked different. Gundam looked a little less polished, and where was the next-gen Killzone? And was striking this crab on a special spot and causing massive damage indicative of next-gen gaming? Thankfully, a new, more aesthetically conservative motion-capable controller was unveiled to replace the boomerang. And then there was the price, $599, with the less expensive version not including an HDMI output for true high resolution. There was cause for concern. A new release date is announced, fall 2006.
We're set to launch the PlayStation 3 this November.
Once again, all eyes were on Sony. The Tokyo Game Show 06 thankfully brought better playable versions, an ambitious display, and a new attitude focused on launch. Lair played well. The graphics and game features delivered on some of the promised grandeur. The $500 version would come with an HDMI port after all.
PlayStation 3.
Maybe things weren't so bad. Demand would still be high, and initial low release numbers will cause some Best Buys to be torched. But at least the road to the PS3 is finally over.
Blow it up.
Have load up nice. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for coming on. Of course, Adam and Morgan are going to be back later in the show, and we will demo Resistance Fall of Man, some multiplayer action live. We're going to show you how it all works. And following tonight's PS3 Day 1 special, there's going to be a brand new episode of X-Play. That's your show, right?
Yeah, that's
right. That's what it's called.
You'll have the first ever reviews of all the PlayStation 3 titles. It's going to be good, but right now we're heading over to Olivia.
Still ahead, cheat host Kristen Holt will be dropping by to give us some strategy tips on how to hack and slash your way through Genji Days of Blade. And stay tuned, tech expert Will O'Neill will be coming by. He'll tell us what makes the PS3 tick with an all-new AOTS hardware. You're watching TV's only source for all the stuff you care about on PS3 Day 1.
Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. And today, of course, it's PS3 Day 1. Now, if you didn't get a console today, face it, we're pretty much all you've got. And we're going to milk that for all it's worth. Let's go over to Olivia, who does not come in either a 60 or 20 gig version.
Thanks, Kev. Now, when we want the dirt on the latest gear and gadgets, there is only one man we go to, tech expert Will O'Neill. He is here to tell us what firepower's inside the PS3. It is time for AOTS hardware.
I love the way you say AOTS hardware.
Do you?
You make
AOTS
hardware sexy.
hardware. It's fun to say.
Yes.
Especially when I've got Will on the brain.
Hey,
Little Tech O'Neill.
You're not alone with that.
Okay, but we have to get serious now.
Yes, we do. Yes,
It's serious time. This is the PS3. I'm actually touching it.
Olivia Munn, touch this PS3.
There's my fingerprints right there.
I'm gonna sell
now,
this on
we've seen what's in the box, and now I want you to give me a breakdown on the machine. What makes it so great? What makes it different? What makes it not so great?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. You know, at first, but before we get started, I got to point out that we have the deluxe version, so it's about $100 more than your standard PS3.
But what makes it deluxe?
It's awesome. It's got a 60 gig hard drive. It's really technical stuff. It's Sony created this brand new 3.2 gigahertz cell processor for it. It's pretty high-end unit. It's awesome.
Now, I get that the cell is the end-all, be-all, but what makes the PS3 different than the Xbox 360?
Well, one of the things that everyone's talking about is the hard drive that Sony put into it. It's totally replaceable. You can pull it out. It's very easy. It's hackable. The system uses a 2.5 serial HCA drive like you would use with a laptop, so it's a little bit more expensive, but it's completely doable. It's also got a multi-format memory card reader. In addition to reading all types of Sony memory sticks, you can also use compact flash and SD cards. And of course, it's got built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, which works with the new wireless controller. You can actually hook up to 7 controllers to one system using Bluetooth.
It looks a lot like the old controller, but it's different though. They've redone it and made it wireless.
It's a wireless. Yeah, well, you can actually still use it with a cord, but with the Bluetooth, it has a range of nearly 65 feet. So of course, you have to have a pretty big display if you want to use that guy. But
or you can be in the bathroom still playing.
Yeah, bugging people. But there's no vibration, so you're going to be. I know.
There's no rumble.
No more rumble.
During my Madden. I don't get that.
I know you're hardcore
nice
with that.
Shake.
Yeah, but it's nice and lightweight though. It's cool.
Well, right now I want you to show me exactly where the hardware is on this.
Okay, the hard drive right here is on the side here, and you pop that little panel, and you slide it over, and it just pops right out like that.
Wow, that's really easy.
Yeah, and then you can just pop it right back in.
Can I see it?
There you go.
It's pretty small.
Don't break it, Mom.
I won't break it. This is very expensive. But this is great because I know that Sony made this so that whoever buy it, they can do whatever they want to it.
Yeah.
They can break it apart, add it. It's their machine. They can do whatever.
It's pretty cool.
That's pretty damn easy. All right, thanks so much, Will.
No, you're welcome.
I'm not going to touch this anymore. I'm going to give it back to you. I asked for everything.
And I'm going to sell it on eBay now.
It has my fingerprints all over it.
Will you sign it? I'll get a little silver Sharpie.
You don't want me to sign that. My signature is not worth what this thing actually cost. Will be back later to take us back inside the PS3 and back inside his head. Although I'm not quite sure I really want to get in.
It's hard to get out of my head once you get inside.
It is hard.
I've been trying my whole life.
Look at that. I've got Will O'Neill on the brain right now. This got to send over to Kevin. I can't even think right now.
Breathe, sweetheart. You'll be fine. It's PS3 Day 1, and we're just getting started. We've got 2 hours of exclusive coverage inside the gaming event of the year. And Cheat's Kristen Holt will be here in studio to preview Genji Days of the Blade right after this. You are watching TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
Having trouble with crazy sword-wielding Asian girls? We've got your Genji tips to get you to the next level. And we've got the president and CEO of Sony Entertainment, Kaz Hirai, filling in all the gaps.
back to Attack of the Show. It's PS3 Day 1, and we're coming to you live with all the news on the most controversial eBay item ever.
This next gen's ride to stores has been a little rocky to say the least, but it is finally here.
Yes, one of the exclusive launch titles that the PS3 has to offer is Genji, Days of the Blade. It's a hack-and-slash samurai game that really promises authentic Japanese history and detailed recreations of battles.
In the game, you guys also fight giant crabs and women who turn into butterflies. Did that really happen?
Yeah, it did.
I don't think that historically.
I saw it in The Way of the Samurai.
When we went back to Japan, we saw that.
Oh, totally. Giant crabs everywhere. I mean, I got them when I was there.
Well, you guys, Cheats, Kristen Holt is here to give us some tips on thwarting some of those bosses.
Yes, Kristen, welcome to the show.
Kristen, thank you
How are
so
you?
much. I was thrown off with the crab talk.
Well,
and
listen, so-
it's
It's
you
true
fight
story.
women and crabs, not women with.
No, we find
I did
crabs
both
and
in Japan,
butterflies.
too.
Okay, just making sure.
But I read a lot of history, but I really don't remember any giant crab attacks, though, honestly.
Oh, well, we're about to show you some.
Oh.
And that they could actually be defeated by like hitting their weak spot. Is that true?
Yeah. You want to know some more?
I would love to know some more, Kristen
All right,
Holt.
well, yeah, they took a little creative liberty there, but she needs something a little larger than life for a game like this. For all you gamers out there, we took on some of those bosses, and here's some hints on how to get ahead by unscathed. These newfangled giant enemy crabs are great and all, but a little overexposed. Sometimes circumstances call for a good old-fashioned crazy wench to fight. Amazingly enough, Genji is so gracious as to give you 2 unhinged ladies to wrestle. Not to mention these creepy sisters.
The Netherworld is where the souls of the dead are gathered.
Sounds like a wonderful vacation spot. No wonder we're trying to get there. On your way to the aforementioned Netherworld of ancient Japan, you'll be rudely interrupted by this lady.
Prepare to die.
Wow, is she cranky? You don't have any chocolate to pacify her, so it looks like you'll have to throw down. Here's the most effective way of defeating her. Use the triangle button attack to keep up with her as she jumps around. Take advantage of her Kamui plane and turn the tables against her. Once in a while, she'll retreat past the barrier and send some grunts to do her bidding. But as you dispatch them with ease, she'll realize never to send a flying mutated chicken beast to do a butterfly's work. Upon her return, get her in the corner where she can't escape. In a button masher like this, it can be easy to forget to block, but without blocking, she'll make quick work of you. Hack away until her health is in the toilet. Ha ha! It may have looked like some mild rearrangement, but you actually only nicked the girl's face.
My face. It's been scarred. No.
Sheesh, lady, you got off easy.
You peasants come! Prepare to die!
Well, if you're gonna be that unreasonable. Now that she's a disfigured grub, she takes the opportunity to transform into Madame Butterfly, also known as the obligatory second boss form. In a sweeping move of creativity, she has no new moves, except for the ability to hover a few feet off the ground, which does her surprisingly little good. Beat her in the same fashion you did before, and the butterfly will lose her wings. I know, sometimes beauty can be painful.
All right. Thank you for the tip.
There really were butterflies.
There were. And that's pretty much how I handle all my foes and my ladies. You just corner them and hack away until they get a scratch on their face.
Hack and slasher.
That's it.
With the
Nice,
ladies.
Kevin.
That's it.
You reveal a
That
little
explains a
bit
lot.
too much every day.
That's
You know
exactly
that?
how I'd react if somebody scuffed this moneymaker.
I wouldn't
You know
be
what I'm
surprised
saying?
if one day we get a knock and it's the police and they're looking for you. You can hang out at my house.
Oh, sweet.
I'll stash you. You guys,
You're
make sure to stay tuned to G4 because Kristen will be back tonight with a brand new episode of Cheat tonight at 8:30, where you'll get all the advice and guidance you'll need to know to become a PS3 Samurai Master or a Butterfly.
Best of both worlds. But right now, it's time for the only news that you need to know in the feed.
Thanks, guys. I'm Layla Kaylee, and it's time to start the feed. New England gave us the first shot of the American Revolution, and now it's also the site of the first blood drawn in the next-gen console wars. A man was shot while waiting in line to buy a PS3, not in Concord, Massachusetts, but Putnam, Connecticut. 21-year-old Michael Pincala was among the 20 or so hopefuls waiting outside the Putnam Walmart last night when he was approached by 2 gunmen who demanded his money. When Pincala refused, the robbers shot him in the chest and shoulder. Happily, Pincala's injuries were not life-threatening and he is in stable condition at a local hospital. Whew, the things we do for love. While no other actual shootings have been reported yet, PS3's launch has been marked by violent incidents and an atmosphere of general chaos. Police in West Covina, California, were summoned early this morning to quell a disturbance among a crowd of 300 hopefuls. Interestingly, the most well-behaved crowds were found outside Sony Star Plaza in Midtown Manhattan. New Yorkers, not generally known for their manners, gathered in a cheerful community on the Madison Avenue sidewalks. New York native Angel Perry Deese, who arrived at the store Monday morning, bought the first PS3 from Sony Computer Entertainment President Kaz Hirai for some. And finally, while some eBay scamps are making money on their consoles, Sony actually loses money on each machine sold. Technology research firm iSupply has broken down the PS3's components for a cost analysis. The company concluded that Sony's cost for materials alone are nearly $250 more than the console's $600 retail price. This estimate is before labor and does not factor in the cost of AV cables, a power cord, or the 6-axis controller that comes bundled with each PS3. Whew. Well, that's all for now. It was a mouthful, but I got there. You can now get the feed to go on your iPod. Search for the feed in iTunes to subscribe. Now you've just been fed. Back to you.
Hey, if you spent days in line for a PS3, you can stay on that couch for the show. No problem, right? We have lots more ahead, and you don't have to pee in the bushes right in front of the Best Buy to do it.
Is it okay if I did, though?
Well, yeah, but do you really have to?
No, I mean, I didn't have to. It was fun, though. When we come back, I'll put the screws to Kaz Hirai about the launch and long, winding road it took to get here. Stay tuned for more on PS3 Day 1. To the bushes!
President and CEO of Sony Entertainment, Kaz Hirai, answers all the questions we can't figure out. And prices are high and still soaring. We'll show you how much you'll be paying if it came from eBay.
We are live, and it is PS3 Day 1, the home for anything and everything you've wanted to know about the Sony's new system. And we couldn't possibly have a launch special without getting the dirt straight from the top. Right now, let's go on over to Kevin, who's got a very, very special guest for you.
All right, thanks, Olivia. Folks, we are joined today by Kaz Hirai, President and CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment America, a leader in the interactive entertainment industry who really helped make the PlayStation a household name. In fact, he might just be the one man in America who can truly tell us just when we might be able to get our hands on a PS3. Kaz, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us, sir.
How are you, Kevin?
I'm doing very well. I'd be doing a lot better if I did have my hands on a PS3. Am I crazy for thinking I might not get one by the end of this holiday?
Well, we're trying everything humanly possible to increase the output of the PlayStation 3 from our factories in Asia, and then making sure that we bring it to our shores as quickly as possible, which means traditionally we would put it on an ocean freighter across the Pacific, maybe taking 12, 14 days. What we're actually doing with the PlayStation 3 right now is putting them on charter jets. So as soon as the pallets fill up with PlayStation 3 on jets, they take off, they land on the West Coast.
Wow.
We try to turn it around as quickly as possible and get it to all our retailing partners.
Wait, now Kaz, what if I'm willing to cash in my Southwest miles and fly to Asia myself? would you let me pull up to the factory and maybe take one off?
Maybe you can carry about 10 or 15 of them and check them in as baggage and some carry-on, and then fly back with us.
I'll smuggle a couple back. Well, obviously, people showed up in droves. Thousands of gamers camped out here in North America to get one of the consoles. I mean, you cannot ignore the power of a PlayStation launch here in North America. Flipping the channels anywhere, you're seeing people in lines, camped out, ordering food, pitching their tents. But some people have been criticizing the launch, saying, listen, Sony waited almost 6 years to launch the PlayStation 3. You guys wanted to get everything right with the Blu-ray and the cell processor and make sure this thing was good to go. Why not postpone it just a little while longer to perhaps meet demand just a little bit more?
Well, you know, we wanted to make sure that we launched the PlayStation 3 in time for the holiday season, and I think there was already a lot of anticipation, a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, you know, as we talked about the PlayStation 3 as early as E3 of last year, and we wanted to make sure that we had the product to the market in 2006 rather than waiting for 2007 to arrive. And it's our challenge really to make sure that now that we have the console launch, that we do everything possible to manufacture as many units as possible and to bring it into the North American market as well as the Japanese market in many units as possible and as quickly as possible.
What about the reaction to last night's pandemonium in some places? There were reports of shootings and robberies. I mean, I understand getting the console out the door maybe to stop Microsoft from gaining more foothold or to kind of overshadow Nintendo with the pure hype that's going on with the PlayStation. And that's understandable, but at some point, don't you have to be concerned for the safety of your gamers, and perhaps you want to offer them a good experience and not have them get frustrated with the fact that the console's out, it's been launched, but they're not going to get one?
Well, absolutely. And I think a lot of our retail partners made sure that with the people in line, they were given wristbands or be given the opportunity to, go home or go to, a place to get a bite to eat and keep their place in line. At the Sony Plaza, we made sure that we were handing out, coffee, what have you, and also make sure that, there wasn't much of an incident. Now, there were some isolated incidents, I believe, of people, for example, trying to cut in line, and then, of course, the people that were already in line, trying to stop that. I've not heard of a shooting, but again, it's something that, we're obviously cognizant of and want to make sure that, the people coming in to purchase the PlayStation 3 when they're lining up, have a great experience being a part of the launch as opposed to it being a negative experience for them.
All right, Kaz, I know there's a lot of gamers at home now that are very excited to check out their PlayStation 3, and I know in the years to come you're going to have some great experiences for them. Congratulations on the North American launch, and I want to thank you for joining me today here on Attack of the Show. Right now, we're going to head on over to Olivia, who's got some info on the competition.
Thanks, Kev. With all the hype surrounding the Wii and the PS3, it is easy to forget that another amazing next-gen system is available in stores right now, and it has been for the past year. With a great lineup of games, why wait in line and risk a beating when you can play some Xbox 360? Here are some of the best games that Microsoft has to offer. It is time to attack this. First up, the best zombie game in ages. Dead Rising is like an interactive version of the horror flick Dawn of the Dead. Zombies have overtaken a shopping mall, and you're a photojournalist who, in 72 hours, needs to take as many candid pictures of zombies as he can. After that, a chopper will come rescue your sorry picture-taken butt. Until then, you gotta stay alive, kill some zombies, and maybe help some non-zombies along the way. Next is Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, a game that looks great and plays even better. While the single-player missions are fun and challenging, multiplayer deathmatch over Xbox Live is even better. Here's a tip, though. If you come out of the trees with your guns blazing like some kind of Leroy Jenkins, you're going to get your ass handed to you. Next, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion is an epic single-player RPG that will easily consume weeks of your life. You can explore the land with total freedom, checking out the dungeons, little towns, and big cities that dot the landscape. Plus, your actions in the game determine the type of character you play and how other characters in the game react to you. So basically, if you act like a jerk, you'll be treated like one. And finally, Gears of War, our favorite game so far to hit the Xbox 360, combines gorgeous graphics with spot-on gameplay. You and your battalion are up against an especially scary alien invader known as the Locust Horde. There is both deathmatch and cooperative multiplayer modes here. Now, we are big fans of the co-op mode. It is always better to bring friends or maybe three. And the best part, all these games are in stores right now. That's today's Attack This. Visit G4tv.com/AOTS for links to all these games. Up next, we'll show you where most of the new PS3s are going to end up. Yes, people will have to yell, "It came from eBay." You guys are watching TV's only source for all things PlayStation 3.
According to a recent survey, over 9 million U.S. consumers are prepared to pay full price for the PlayStation 3 when it launches. But with the PS3 costing almost $600, what will you sell to buy it?
I'm selling my kidney.
I participated in a medical trial.
I made a porn film. And I was the only human actor.
PlayStation 3. What will you sell to buy it?
Of coverage. We've got the headlines, the games, anything you could possibly want. It's PS3 Day 1.
And make sure you stay till the end. If you missed your chance on getting a PS3, we will give you some tips on making that dream a reality. See, I could be dramatic like you too.
No, it was good.
Thank you. I learned it from you.
It was oozing with pros.
You guys, the past few months, if you said PS3, you also usually have the word eBay within the sentence.
Yes, the majority of consoles that got pre-ordered were not bought by the gamers that deserve them, but by people trying to make a quick buck and going online to resell it.
Yeah. Yes, and if you guys really need a PS3 now, and you'll have to tell everyone.
It came from eBay!
What's going on here?
Yes, eBay is back.
That's right, that's right. Now, if you're on eBay right now, prepare for a little bit of the sticker shock. You know, now that the wait is over and people are taking pictures and selling actual PlayStation 3s.
Did that say $25,000?
Well, here's the deal. The average PlayStation 3 selling price has almost doubled since yesterday. It looks like there's a decent amount of fraudulent bidding going on. I'm assuming 20K, probably not legitimate.
What's fun about that? Going, ooh, I'm going to sell it for 20K.
Well, no.
No, people are saying, I'm going to do that.
People are saying, I'm going to buy it.
That's
and what they're
not
doing
fun.
is they're basically poaching and saying, you know what, screw you to the guys that are trying to steal the consoles from the real gamers.
Well, that's
but
fun.
We spoke to one guy earlier, one seller who actually got $4,850 for a 60-gig PlayStation 3. Here's what he told us. He said, I predict that deadbeat bidders galore, pissed off sellers, joke buyers, done. That was today. That's what happened. So, but not to him. He sold his for almost $5K. Very impressive numbers, though.
Console.
Yeah, $600. It's quite a return on investment. That's worth getting shot for, I think. Considering a new 60-gig PS3 retails for $600, let's take a quick look at some of these auctions and see what people are getting. This is a little eBay by the numbers. Earlier today, we saw the highest price paid for a 60-gig PS3 unit, $9,000.
Wow.
Now, according to eBay Marketplace Research, today's average selling price for in-hand units, approximately 2,700 bones.
Man, I wish I was in line waiting.
And if you want a quick deal and a better price, you got to use Buy It Now, because the average sold Buy It Now price approximately $2,100, which that's kind of unusual, actually.
Yeah.
Now, with PayPal and overnight shipping, you could have a brand new PS3 in your hands by early tomorrow morning, just in time to get the gaming out of your system and get in line for a Wii. But let's watch an auction that's ending right now. This is an auction that we had. We knew it was ending sooner. It was. The current bid was $940. We're going to refresh the page. Hope you didn't pop in porn.
$1,825.
There you go. It is done. Let's see one more. Well, this one was going for $1,230. We refresh. $2,425.
This is fun. Keep doing them. Refresh, refresh.
We got another one coming down. $2,200.
That was $2,200, and now it is.
Well, that was anticlimactic. That didn't change much. How about this one, though? $1,175 should be ending.
$2,425.
Wow. So as you can see,
that's fun.
Them's going for big bones on eBay.
But you know, if people are going to stand in line and risk getting beat and shot, then they deserve.
They clearly deserve it.
If people are going to pay for it, I mean, they have the money to throw it away.
I don't know what else you could really say about all this, except it came from eBay. Scene. All of you people should be ashamed of yourselves. How dare you exploit a global tech powerhouse like Sony? They need the money, folks.
I know. Hello. Have patience, everyone. Have patience.
All right, if you think we're done here, you got another thing coming. Our coverage of the PS3 Day 1 is in full force for another hour. I don't know why I did that. And there's way more Attack of the Show coming up.
Yeah, we've got game, demos, reviews, and a brand new loop breaking down the day's events and much more. We're not lying when we say we are worth watching, and we are TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
With a straw. I don't want to get my lip gloss on the can.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show, TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. This is Olivia Munn, that is Kevin Pereira, and it is PS3 Day 1. If you guys are just joining us, we are kicking off our second hour of worldwide coverage.
That is right. We are coming to you live from the G4 studios here in the City of Angels, smack in the middle of the biggest day in gaming. It's launch day, and it is nuts out there.
Attack of the Show was ready. So we prepared a supersized edition of the show, and we are covering this event from top to bottom. And once we wrap things up here, our partners in crime at X Play and Cheat will have brand new episodes breaking down all the games and events of the day.
All right, so far we've covered some of the launch titles out there, checked out the hardware, I just grilled Kaz Hirai, and if you think that's a lot, you gotta stick around because we've got plenty more coming up.
The PS3 is a huge piece of hardware, and one measly hour it just can't cover it.
Can't.
Now, G4 is here all night bringing you everything you'll ever need to know about the PS3. Buckle up and strap in. It's launch day. PS3 Mania has swept the country. And since the number of consoles available is extremely limited, the situation is getting very messy.
That's right. You've got anxious gamers desperately wanting to try the next big thing. You've also got a bunch of opportunists willing to do anything to make a quick buck, like sell them on eBay, as we just saw.
Yep, this past week, people have been lining up around the country to have a shot at getting their hands on any system. They'll even settle for the 20 gig version at this point.
Now that is desperate.
That is desperate.
I mean, shooting somebody I could see, but taking a 20 gig version, that's just pathetic, people.
Wow.
But when you get that many crazed people with cash in hand ready to do whatever it takes to get the hottest thing in gaming around, inevitably, some bad things are going to happen. And of course, today, they did.
They did. Retailers were severely undermanned and unprepared for today. And with crowds of hundreds, in some places, over 1,000 people waiting, punch-ups and shoving matches broke out everywhere. I love it. Did they actually have boxing gloves on?
That was the PS3 punch seen around the world today. Like, everybody's watching that line cutter get smacked.
I love it. But you know, it's like lining up and someone saying, if you give me $600, I'll give you $5,000. I mean, that's what they're lining up
Pretty
for.
much. I'd take a punch to the face for that.
Ready?
Don't.
Because I have a PS3.
There's been reports of muggings outside stores for people waiting in line, people getting their systems stolen. Of course, a man in Connecticut was shot outside of Walmart. You've heard the stories already.
I hope he got a PS3.
He's fine, yeah. He got a flesh wound as well. It's a good souvenir. Because of the short supply of available consoles, though, people were forced to take drastic measures if they wanted to get their hands on one first.
Zach Sallen was in New York last night, and he talked to fans who wouldn't let anything stop them, even some really bad weather.
Ooh.
All right, it takes hardcore dedication to stand in line for 3 or 4 days, so we're going to take it to the streets and find out what these die-hard fans are doing here in anticipation of picking up the new PlayStation 3. How long you been out here?
8 hours.
11 o'clock last night.
2 days.
I don't know, but I just want my PS3, that's all.
What are you doing about the bathroom and stuff like that?
The Disney store has been doing us, they've been helping us out.
They put us on lockdown. We can't leave the line now.
So what are you gonna do, start peeing in some bottles, hobo style, that kind of thing?
I don't know. I mean, they can pee in the grates right here.
You gotta do what you gotta do. What have you been doing to pass the time out here, man?
Fighting, screaming, getting wet.
Uno.
Kevin Pereira, dude. Challenge Kevin Pereira to a game of Uno right now.
Come back here, baby. We got the Uno cards.
Yo, man, this line looks like it goes on forever, so it's time to check in with the underdogs in this waiting game. I'm checking out the way back of this line. You know, you're the last dude here. Does that make you feel any more special, or do you feel a little maybe slighted?
I'm proud of being the last person.
What do you think the chances you actually picking up a PS3 tonight are?
Oh, hell no. I'm not picking up a PS3. You crazy?
So you're in line just to kind of be in line. You don't even want a video game or even play.
Yeah, basically.
I suspect there will be a lot of gamers with the flu this weekend, but probably worth it.
Most of them had it all week while they were waiting in line. Called the employers. Sorry, boss.
Now I know your trick, Pereira.
Exactly.
And you didn't even get a PS3.
Some of the people in line got lucky, but most of them didn't. But one unlucky guy took 2 gunshot wounds when he got mugged. Have you heard that story yet? Dude got shot. Breaking news.
What?
So we wanted to know.
Where?
This was at a Walmart in Connecticut. We wanted to know, is the PS3 worth taking a bullet for?
That's a good question. Vote on our website, G4tv.com/AOTS, or text your vote to G4TXT, that's 44898, to vote and register for AOTS live news alerts. Now, 21st century gaming is miles away from the 8-bit Marios of old. Today, motion capture is used to animate the actions of all your favorite characters.
That's right. For mocap, you need trained professionals, right? You need skilled actors. The job much harder than it looks. It's not just wearing ping pong balls. You'll see. Just watch.
Peter, I think, is one of the least known icons in the industry. Not only did he contribute to the motion in the game, but he also contributed to the storyline, and so few people know about him.
The first time I saw his work, it just made me weep. You know, this guy could capture motion in a way to where all you had to see was his data points, and you understood the pathos of humanity.
Without me, it would just be motion less, minus the capturing. Just motion. And nobody wants that.
He's actually a pretty exciting guy to watch because when he tries to get into character ahead of time, he really immerses himself in that character for not just hours, not just days, but sometimes weeks at a time.
I've played robots, I've played, super fans, Gollum in the Lord of the Rings video games.
Yes, my precious.
It's really sad to see now a character as just so creative, with such creative potential, has just been, abused by our industry. It's just heartbreaking.
There's nothing wrong with doing a hot coffee mod. We ready to go? All right, let's do this. Oh, girl, you should be getting paid for this. I actually played both characters. I was the guy and the girl. I f***ed myself. Is that good? You guys want another take on that one?
He's redefined what motion capture means in America and really all over the world.
It's a struggle, but if you believe in what you're doing, it'll pay off. Because there's one motion they can't capture. That's emotion. Oh, and hands. Hands are really hard.
That's a hot outfit. You should
Very
try
hot.
that sometime.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, did you get left out of today's launch? It's okay. We are here to make sure you get your fix.
That's right. You can crash here anytime. My old lady, she doesn't care. And up next, X Play's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. They're going to demo Resistance Fall of Man live in the studio. What is this? Oh,
TV's only source for all the stuff you care about.
I was going to say
Blue spandex.
Aliens are on the march, but fear not. We'll show you how to survive in Resistance Fall of Man. And we dive deep into the Blu-ray in AOTS hardware.
Welcome back to the show. It is PS3 day one, and we are not going to hoard all the systems and sell them on eBay. No, we won't do that, but actually, Kevin might. Kevin, I've got my eye on you. You've got Morgan and Adam with you, and I'm sure they won't let you do that either.
Relax. We're not selling any here. Honest. Easily the best reviewed launch title for the PlayStation 3. We've said it all along. It's Resistance Fall of Man. And of course, besides a much-hyped campaign, the big selling point are the huge multiplayer capabilities. And here to show us how it all works, X-Play's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb. Welcome back, guys.
Thank you.
Good to see you. All right, Adam, you were one of the first people to play the game. You actually went to Insomniac,
Yes,
right?
I did.
Aren't you so jealous?
Yeah, I heard they locked you in a room for 2 days.
It was 2 10-hour days of a lot of men and the sun coming through the window and the smelly.
Oh, you make it sound so
But I still really enjoyed the game.
Did they feed you or waterboard you or what?
There was some waterboarding, but that was afterwards.
Okay,
what did you think, Adam?
But what did you think? Because you came back
It's
and
a
you
great
seemed to
game.
think very highly
It is a
of
great game. I don't want to answer the question, should you buy a PS3 for it? Because that's not a fair question. It is an awesome game. Where on any system, it's one of my favorite shooters I think I've ever played.
All right, well, let's talk about the multiplayer,
Okay.
obviously. Morgan, have you had a chance to experience what's it like?
Yes, the multiplayer is actually very fast and very furious. You die basically in 1 or 2 shots from
Right.
the other player.
Right.
So when you're even playing like a 20 on 20 deathmatch, you can have up to 40 players, which is amazing.
Wow.
20 on 20 deathmatch, like half playing the humans, half playing the Chimerans.
Sure.
You
Wait, the what? The humans and the what?
Chimera.
The furry little woodland creature?
No, they're mythical beings.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
right.
evil. We're
Right.
in video
Okay.
game land.
Human aliens, good, bad. Got
I'll
it.
give you your
Right.
DS afterwards, okay?
No. Okay, so we're playing, and each one has their own abilities?
Each one has their own abilities. Humans can sprint, and they can also, in the mini-map, they can see where the opposite side is.
Oh, okay.
And then the Chimerans can sort of see through walls, and you can't actually see through like it's invisible, but it's more of like
But you can see a
heat-sensitive.
blob that you know you want to shoot is behind that
And they
wall.
can also
which is all you
sprint,
need
but
to
the
know.
problem is that they will overheat. So sometimes you'll see somebody running by with like flames coming coming out of their back, and it's because they've overheated because they've used their superpowers.
That's one of the best parts of the game, because there's a lot of bounce boards, and so some people will catch on fire, be it from a grenade or the fact that they're overheating. So you'll see on the far end of the map, a flaming person just kind of pop up over the horizon and come right back crashing.
All right, well, I've got it fired up here. This is an actual online game. Everybody's been killing me while I've been standing idle. Thanks, guys. But this is real time. We're playing online. You've described these massive 20-on-20 matches, Adam. What modes are there right now?
Well, okay, there's team deathmatch and deathmatch.
Capture the flag.
And there's a King of the Hill mode.
Yeah.
The one that kind of stands out a little bit from the rest is a mode called Breach, which isn't exactly unique. It's very similar to the, it was an old mode in Unreal Tournament, which is completely slipping my mind. But more or less, there's cooling points that are all over the map.
Right.
And each team owns a group of them.
Like nodes in Conquest.
Conquest, that's it. That was so long ago.
I'm looking for somebody to kill here.
That's back when I used the
people in the game.
But so if you take you want to take over the other nodes that the other team has, and then you have to hold them and defend them because
and you get
then
better armaments if you get the new nodes, but it's very similar to the things we've played before.
But now you do sort of die instantly, right? It's like you spawn in. There's so many people running around that you could get popped.
If I was to find a flaw with the multiplayer, it's that the where you spawn in relation to where there could be enemies seems to be pretty random. And there are many times where I spawn, cool, ooh, I'm dead. Right. Ooh, I spawn, ooh, I'm dead.
And of course, the one time we bring this up, I've spawned miles away from the enemy. I mean, that's a testament to the max
right there.
Oh yeah, die, die, sucker! You're gonna get owned on TV. That's right.
Now the gun you're using right here, use the alternate fire on this, even though we have no one to shoot.
Okay, hold on. Let me take one of these bouncy pads here. I love bounce pads. Thank you, Quake 3. All right, where's the guy? I'm checking my radar. You're not saying. So what's your alternate fire on this guy?
Right here. The alternate fire would be your upper left button, the L1.
I'm trying to hit him.
What that does? Okay, well, what that did is that puts a homing device on a character, so you can go back around a corner and shoot straight in the air, and the bullets will find their way to that guy.
It's very Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah,
somebody's grenade just found its way to my hindquarters.
Oh, it must
have
had a map.
All right, and we also so Breach is the Conquest type mode. It's online day one. It seems to be working just fine.
Day one, most people are seeming to play deathmatch right now.
They're just sticking to straight
hopping on. They're hopping on to straight team deathmatch right now.
And most importantly, and to Insomniac's credit, unlike trying to actually use the back end of the PS3, finding a game, setting up a game, and getting to one is very intuitive and very easy. As it was harder for me to find save game data for the PS3 than it was to actually put together a match.
I completely agree. I got to be honest. I was surprised. It seemed easier than most of the experiences I've had on Xbox Live with matchmaking, which is a testament, I think, to what Insomniac managed to do with this game.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to let you guys get to it because you actually know what you're doing. Oh, you got poached, Sessler. That's Resistance: Fall of Man. Thank you guys for coming on to demo it and showing it off. I love it. Plenty of weapons to blow your friends up. It's in stores now. Again, it's Resistance: Fall of Man. And make sure you stick around because following this PS3 Day 1 special, X-Play is going to have a brand new episode with reviews of all the PlayStation 3 launch titles. It's right here on G4, 8 p.m. tonight. You don't want to miss it. Let's go over to Olivia.
Still ahead, Layla Cayley will give us her report from the PlayStation's big red carpet premiere. She talked with Eddie Griffin, Pedro, and Lindsay Lohan about the hottest ticket in town. And stay tuned, comic expert Blair Butler will be dropping by to take us inside Marvel Ultimate Alliance in an all-new Fresh Ink on PS3 Day 1.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. We are live and bringing you all the news from PS3 Day 1. We're running a marathon here, and no guy from Kenya is going to beat us. I mean it. Let's go over to Olivia, who fortunately did not get trampled at a Walmart today. Well done.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pereira. Now, when we want to dive into the world of superheroes and thought balloons, we go to only one person, comic book expert Blair Butler. It is time to take a look at the PS3's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. It's Fresh Ink. Blair, I got to ask you a question. Would you say that you're a comic book fan first or a gamer first?
You know, it's kind of even because I love comics, but there's nothing as visceral as like getting into a good game.
Really? I thought you would have gone the other way. I would have thought that you would have been like comic first and then game next.
I've been playing Gears of War all week, and I think I might be a gamer first now. So.
Well, that's great. But you know, with your unique perspective and loving both comic books and games, you give a really unique perspective to the new Alliance.
Yeah, Marvel Ultimate Alliance. This is sort of like it's a Diablo-style top-down action RPG. You know, this is really it's great because it's got just 100 characters from the Marvel Universe, tons and tons of characters. So, you know, we've got your Spider-Man, your Wolverine, and then you got some random people. You got like Moonlight and Deadpool. And
well, speaking about all those characters, let's first start and talk about what you liked about the game. It must have been amazing playing any Marvel hero you wanted to play.
Right. Well, you know, not everybody's in here. You know, you're missing your Hulks and a couple other characters. But yeah, it's very cool to sort of go in there and select characters and go, you know, I want to have Spider-Man team up with Elektra and Ms. Marvel, although why you want to play as Ms. Marvel, I'm not really sure. But, you know, hey, it's fun.
Maybe some people, you don't know. Don't judge. Don't judge me.
It's true. And actually playing as Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, tons of fun.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, the stretchy arms is a really nice, it's a nice thing you can do on this game.
Now, you play this on both the PS3 and the 360.
Right.
What was the big difference between them?
Well, you know, graphically, the difference is really negligible, but the 6-axis, the sort of motion-sensitive controller that they have on the PS3, you know, you use that to, like, wrestle weapons away from people or defuse bombs, which is actually not that exciting. It's kind of lame. I sort of like I like the rumble myself.
Yeah, I like the rumble too.
I'm
it's
a
my
big
favorite
fan of
part
the rumble.
on Madden. It's my favorite part when you get to tackle somebody. Now, how about the gameplay? Did you actually believe a man could fly, or were you like just flying through hoops and fog?
Well, you know, the really cool thing about this game, it's embarrassing to say, it's the cutscenes. It's great to see all these characters that have different licenses with various studios together in a semi, you know, CG real format, fighting together. And it's fun for a little while to play, but the gameplay is really repetitive, you know, and it's like you find yourself a lot of the time playing just so you can unlock more cool outfits, which...
But then you're like, okay, great, I got another outfit. So what's your verdict on this? Buy, browse, burn?
You know, I think the hardcore Marvel fans are going to pick it up anyway, but for regular gamers, I hate to say it, I think it's a browse, you know?
Wow.
If you liked X-Men Legends, you're probably going to like it, otherwise, maybe not so much.
All right, thanks so much, Blair.
No problem, my pleasure.
My pleasure. Now, Marvel Ultimate Alliance is in stores right now. Just hope you can find a console to play it on. Let's go on over to Kevin, who would let you play on his if he had one.
I don't have one, but if you got the shaft today and you can't wait for the next shipment of consoles, stick around till the end of the show and we'll tell you how to snag this year's hottest item. You are watching PS3 Day 1.
If it's not HD, it's Blu-ray, and we know all about it on AOTS hardware. And the PS3 is here. But does it live up to the hype? The Loop takes the stand.
According to a recent survey, over 9 million U.S. consumers are prepared to pay full price for the PlayStation 3 when it launches. But with the PS3 costing almost $600, what will you sell to buy it?
I sold my antipsychotic meds.
I sold my corneas for a PS3. I'm selling my virginity on eBay. And it has nothing to do with the PS3.
PlayStation 3. What will you sell to buy it?
Welcome back to Attack of the Show's live coverage of PS3 Day 1. It's basically our Super Bowl without most of the gambling or binge drinking, except for that guy. Well, I go to a keg stand. Let's go over to Olivia.
Now, one of the big selling points for the PS3 was the inclusion of the Blu-ray drive. This high-def player packs more power and memory than an HD DVD drive, but it's also caused Sony the most problems. Tech expert Will O'Neill is here to break it all down. It is time for AOTS Hardware. Are you doing your AOTS hardware moves?
Wrench it.
Now, let's get down to business yet again. When you're here, it's all business, Will.
Yes, it is.
You have to tell me, how much better is this that it comes with a Blu-ray? It's a deal maker, right?
It's a total deal maker. The great thing about this thing is it's not just the next generation of video games, but it's also the next gen in movies and TV. In addition to being a gaming console, the PS3 is basically a half-price Blu-ray player when you compare it to all other manufacturers, including Sony's standalone Blu-ray unit. It's backwards compatible, so it will recognize and play regular DVDs as well as music CDs. Also, while the device has an HDMI output, the system package only comes with component cables. Sony's considering the HDMI cables an accessory, so you have to pony up for them separately.
What are the great features on this that makes it so much better than a regular DVD player? Because you can get DVD players and you can play your movies, you can get extra features, you can do all that stuff.
Well, the great thing about Blu-ray, though, is that because they can pack so much data onto the actual disc themselves, like hardcore movie buffs, you know, like guys like Chris Gore are going to love the fact that they have all this content on it. And with these interactive menus, so like, you know, you're watching a movie.
So when we're watching The Notebook together,
or
and
when
it's
you're
a
watching Talladega Nights, which they actually ship the thing with.
Dear baby Jesus, dear little Christmas baby Jesus, little 8-pound, 6-ounce Christmas baby Jesus.
Exactly. So when you're watching your Blu-ray movies, and while the movie's going, they have these interactive menus that go that show while the movie's still playing.
It's like pop-up video on VH1.
Yes, exactly.
But what if you don't want that? What if you just want to watch a nice romantic movie like Gone with the Wind?
Why would I want to watch that?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I forgot I was talking to a boy for a second.
Exactly.
I heard that Sony has admitted to facing a lot of challenges with the incorporation of this on the first rollout of the units.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, because the Blu-ray drives themselves are about $300, that's what sort of contributed to the fact that this device is so much more expensive than, let's say, the Xbox or the Wii. And also because it's a new drive, there were a lot of delays as far as like shipping them, so that may have also contributed to why the PS3 shipped when it actually did, as opposed to when they kept saying it was going to ship.
I think if people are watching this now, I think it makes sense that this actually is a really great deal.
So maybe tonight I'll bring this by your place with the Notebook on Blu-ray. We can watch, have a nice little romantic.
Really? You'd watch the Notebook with no pop-ups?
Yeah, like get some cheap Chardonnay. It'd be a good
time.
No
pop-ups, see what I mean? See what I did there? Anyways, moving on for more Blu-ray, PS3 hardware, and of course, to get more on everything you could possibly want to know, check out G4tv.com/AOTS. And now, back to Kevin, who has been checking us out the entire time, making sure you don't make a move on me. You know what I mean? Kevin, don't be jealous.
He's a jealous type.
Hey, you stay seated on that couch, buddy boy. I know if you're watching this, you didn't get a PlayStation 3, and I didn't either. So let's just ride this out together. We're all friends here. There's more coming up on PS3 Day 1.
The wait is over. The PS3s are here, and the verdict is in.
Water in the court.
Take your seats. The Honorable Loop is now presiding.
Welcome back to Attack of the Show. We are live on PS3 Day 1, covering all the top games and bringing you all the in-depth coverage you could ever want to know about this next-gen system. Earlier in the show, we asked you, is this PS3 worth taking a bullet for? Well, you guys are all a bunch of babies because 82% of you think that you don't think it's worth taking a bullet for, and you call yourself hardcore gamers. Well, let's go on over to the most hardcore gamer I've ever known, Mr. Kevin Pereira.
All right, we know the PlayStation 3 is out. Everyone wants one for that next-gen gaming experience, but it seems like most people want to make a little scratch off eBay instead of actually picking up the 6-axis and monkeying around. Now, was all that chaos really worth it? Am I going to get jumped tomorrow when I wait in line for the Wii? Lions and tigers and PlayStation 3s, oh my! It's the Loop. Joining us via satellite tonight to help us make sense of the PlayStation 3 fiasco, from San Francisco, executive editor for IGN.com's PlayStation channel, Chris Roper joins us, and from Los Angeles, G4 gaming expert and Blazer aficionado, Jeff Keighley. Gentlemen, welcome to The Loop. Jeff, I want to start with you, sir. PS3, I mean, we know it was out of control last night. Absolute chaos at midnight. The gunpowder is still in the air. We can smell it. Was it worth dodging shrapnel for? Really?
Well, I think, you have a lot of like die-hard PlayStation fans. These are the guys that started playing with PlayStation 1. They bought a PS2, a PSP. For these guys, guys like us, we've been to E3s. We saw the dream that Sony promised back at E3 2005. We're
just jaded old timers.
Yeah, exactly. But the regular guys I talked to in line at a Best Buy last night, I mean, they're just like, dude, it's like PlayStation has done me no wrong. I'm so excited about the next PlayStation. And these guys, it's an object of desire. So I think it's, is it worth $3,000 on eBay? Of course not. But it's like people it's an object of, a desire. They want it.
Well, Chris, do they want it? Do they really want to put this console in their entertainment system? Because it seems like people are getting shot over the chance to put it on eBay for some quick PayPal money.
Is a lot of these people have been holding out, and they didn't pick up an Xbox 360 last year. So this is their first step into next-gen gaming. And so, for them to stand in line for 2 days, they've been waiting 365 for it. So that's not really much of a challenge for them, raining or not. So,
but Jeff,
they're ready.
We've seen the prices on eBay. These things are going on average now, probably about $3,000 a pop. Are they just buying? Is it the super wealthy who are Sony fans? Are they just that impatient, or are some people desperate for some sort of compensation?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's part of that, right? I mean, you look at the lines. I think a lot of them are people just, sort of, profiteers who are just sort of looking to line up and turn them on eBay. I think the prices may actually go up even more in December as it gets closer and closer to Christmas. Parents are going to want to buy this for the kids. And the real question is, no one really knows how many Sony had last night out there. Is it 150,000? Was it 400,000? No one knows, and over the next couple of weeks, are they going to be replenishing the channel or not?
Right.
So it's, I think what's interesting to me is a lot of people that are buying it, I think, have never really seen a PS3 up close. I've heard some people that are pretty disappointed when they take it home, and other people that are just blown away by it. So it'll be really interesting in the next couple of weeks to see what sort of, the post-mortem is on whether people think is it worth the money.
Yeah, Chris, we can yak on and on about all the launch titles and whether or not there are any 8 or 9 out of 10 games there. But if someone spends $3,000 on this console, brings it home, unpacks it, and doesn't get quite the gaming experience they thought they would, are they going to be turned off of the PlayStation brand for life?
Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean, a lot of the big games are coming out in the next 6 months or so. And so Sony has a lot of time to win them back. But, I think people at least are going to be, fairly happy with the machine, even if they're a little bit disappointed from what they expected. But, I mean, it's a quality piece of hardware, and Sony's got a lot of going for it in the future. So.
Well, I think a lot of people like with PS3. To me, it's like I remember back Xbox 360 last year. Everyone was talking about the launch lineup was not that great, and was the system really worth it? And
right.
It's amazing. A year later, now everyone's talking about all these great games and Gears of War, and one game can turn around a system.
Sure.
So people buy a PlayStation. I think they know they're going to get Metal Gear Solid 4. They're going to get these other big games down the road.
But granted, Jeff, the 360 didn't release against anything next gen. So looking at the PlayStation 3 coming out now, how does it compare to what the 360 is offering now or the potential Wii offering?
Well, that's the challenge. I think, PS3 probably actually has a better launch lineup than the PS2 did with Fantavision, SSX, and stuff like that. But as you correctly point out, there was no one else in the market. Now Sony's coming out against 360 with, an amazing slate of games. Gears of War, obviously one of the best games of the year. Rainbow Six Vegas, I've just been playing. I love that. I mean, a lot of great
does the
stuff.
console pale in comparison, or is it a pretty good
absolutely. I
offering
think,
right now?
today, if you need to decide right now which system has the better games right now, obviously there's a bigger, a wider library of games on 360, but you're making a bet for, 5, 6, Sony will say 10 years with a console. So if you're only going to buy one, you got to decide, is it all about this Christmas? Is it short term or is it longer term? Because, maybe 360 next year we're going to see better games on PlayStation than Xbox. So you can't really tell.
All right, we're talking about years to come. Chris, retail price is interesting here because market research firm iSupply, they broke apart the PlayStation 3. They figured out what it cost. They figured that Sony is losing about $240 on each console. I mean, do you think Sony's war chest is big enough at this point with the errors that they've had to really sustain the losses on these consoles for years to come?
Well, probably, but you also have to remember that it's not just the computer entertainment division of Sony that's relying on the PS3 success. It's also like their entire entertainment division because, Blu-ray is a huge thing for them, and they want to get 100 million units or whatever into people's homes, so you have the Blu-ray there. So they're willing to take losses early on to try to make them back up in 3, 4, 5, 6 years' time now. So
all right, now
they can hold out for it.
I'm going to be waiting in line for the Wii tomorrow, and everybody's expecting it to be huge. Jeff, should I be worried? Do I need to wear Kevlar? I mean, is there going to be the same pandemonium we've seen over the PlayStation 3 for Nintendo's Wii tomorrow?
Well, I think you're probably going to see more Wii units out there at retail. So Nintendo's talking about, 4 million worldwide by the end of the year versus Sony with only a couple million PS3s. So I think you'll see, obviously the Nintendo fanboys are going to be there. I think there'll be sellout situations, but I think there'll probably be more out there available. So I don't think it's going to be quite as coveted just because there's going to be sort of, more supply out there. But I think the demand will probably be the same, if not more, than PS3. But let's hope they're plungers out there, not bullets.
All right. I want to thank our guests, Chris and Jeff, for joining us at the Digital Water Cooler. Thank you guys for keeping us in the loop. Now, it may be a while before everyone has their own PlayStation 3, but while you're trying to get one, be safe. And please, whatever you do, seriously, guys, don't pay more than the retail price. It just is not worth it right now. A little patience is going to pay off this time around, as we should see vast improvements in the games just a little while down the road if demos like MotorStorm are any indication of the true power of the PlayStation. Relax, breathe. Right now, we're going to go over to Olivia, who loves her some 6-axis.
That's true, Cup. Now, you guys, coming up later, Layla Kaylee was down at the PS3 premiere party in LA where she met up with Lindsay Lohan, Eddie Griffin, and Pedro, and a surprise musical guest. See what went down when we return on PS3 Day 1. Uno, and we are coming to you with all the live coverage, all the news, and all the tears. While I got to get some tissues, I'm going to go over to Kevin and Layla Kaylee. You're back.
That's a good
Thanks,
move.
Olivia. Don't cry. Don't cry. Yeah, I was doing some dance moves.
Kevin was teaching me how to dance.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
All right.
All right. Sony had a huge Hollywood premiere for the PlayStation 3.
Yes, they did.
And just like you'd expect for a big movie, Layla, you were there?
I was there.
Was it nuts?
It was good, man. It was a lot crazier than I expected. A lot of people came out, and there was a surprise musical guest. You want to see who it was?
I would love to.
Let's check it out. The stars are coming out tonight in Beverly Hills to celebrate the latest edition in next-generation gaming. Get ready to say hello to the PS3. So what are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to see the rollout of supposedly the best gaming apparatus that's come on the market in the last, 17,000 years.
I like anything I can compete against. I used to, when I was a kid, I used to like the Super Mario action, the adventure.
A lot of people don't know this, but are you a big gamer yourself? Do you play any game?
My brothers are obsessed with it.
Well, maybe we can
I'm
get you
here
a
for my
game.
10-year-old brother or my 19-year-old brother.
Are they gonna give you one?
Oh, they better. If not, I'll rob them, yo. Rob them, punk. I don't know any of the new games. I haven't heard anything. But if there's is there a scary one?
Inside, there's food, drink, and fun with lots of PS3 set up for everyone's enjoyment. Celebs may have taken the night off to try some of the PS3's titles firsthand, but that's not the only thing they're here to see. And I heard someone's performing tonight. Can you tell us what you know about that?
Well, I know exactly who it is, but I don't think I'm supposed to give it away.
No, I know. Why don't you
I'm
give
gonna just
it
give
away?
a hint, Diddy.
As you can see, everyone's excited about Sony's latest masterpiece. Now, if you excuse me, I have a party to go to.
Oh, wait. So you got to go and hang out and party and have a good night?
Yeah, I got to. You know me, I'm not a big party fan, but I was excited. I went to see the PS3 and check it out.
And the gift bag was like a giant duffel bag. They gave out 3 PlayStation 3s to each person there.
Yeah, I tried to smuggle some, but they weren't having any of my ghetto, give me some freebies.
Were people expecting a free console? Because it didn't happen,
a lot of people got it. I was mad that Lindsay Lohan got one because she didn't appreciate it at all, but hey, that's how the world works.
I think she just sold it on eBay. And
Probably.
I bought it now, so we're good. Excellent report, Layla. I'm glad you had a good time.
Thank you,
All right, right now let's go over to my favorite party girl.
Woo, it's Olivia Munn! What's this, Kevin? What's that supposed to mean?
Those are happy fingers.
I love you so much, Pereira. Still coming up, if you came up SOL today, hey, it's not the end of the world. You still might have some options. When we come back, we will tell you what to do if you want to get the hottest item around. We're it on TV's only source for all the stuff you care about. Let me work it out. You're good.
Is that all I have to do from now on?
Go for 2 hours.
Next gen winded. Yeah, Sting can go for how many?
Sting can do go for 12 hours. Jim Carrey 15.
He's a marathon gamer. Welcome back to the show, everybody. We are live on PS3 Day 1, and you don't even need a firmware update to enjoy us. Impressive.
It's very impressive. You guys, we are almost done here, but not quite. We still have some burning questions. Let's go on over to the army of monitor heads.
Hey, do you guys know where I can get my hands on a PlayStation 3 because I am not waiting in line?
Great question.
It's a really good question.
A lot of people have it.
Okay.
Here's the deal.
Craigslist, right?
Yeah, people really don't know how many consoles are going to be there. Sony says they're hoping to have several 100,000, up throughout the holiday season. Yeah. Listen, if you're an 18 to 24-year-old female, Venison Sentinella, just come send me a MySpace message. I'll be outside. You can line up.
Why does every freaking moment that you have to self-promote your penis, why does it turn into that? Exactly.
What?
I said it. I said it.
Wow. I'm just trying to help some needy gamers out there. Sweetheart?
Needy gamers?
Yeah.
Why? There's male needy gamers out there.
You should really help them on Craigslist.
My
is really
brother
the place
would probably
to go,
like a
right?
PS3. Would you like to say something different?
I gave the criteria. I was very specific. That was it.
But I love it. Yeah, you guys can go to Craigslist, and they're a lot cheaper than on eBay right now.
Yeah.
I have no idea why. Why would it be cheaper on Craigslist than eBay?
I don't know. They're going on cheaper. I mean, because people can name their own price. They say here, and plus it's a local thing, so you can physically go and pick it up. You don't have to worry about shipping. They don't have to worry about packing it. But if somebody's like, hey, no, you can pick it up on this corner of MLK in Inglewood. Just come at 2 a.m. We've got 360 gig units for you. Bring a friend. Bring a friend.
Bring a friend. Now, I have to say, I do feel kind of bad now that I called you out on your little self-promotion for your for your guy down there because you know what? You're on TV and you're good looking and you're young and you're rich and you should be doing that.
And I still need to use a next-gen console to get some. That's how sad it is. It doesn't matter.
But you know what? If that's what you need to do, why should I bring you down, Pereira? I'm sorry.
Right. That's okay. Are you hurting for a Blu-ray now?
No, I'm gonna go round up some girls. Hey, girls, anybody want to? No? Okay, no takers.
Let's just...
My bad. Okay, now for all the things you guys saw today and more, go to G4tv.com/AOTS.
If you think we've got you covered, we covered it all in the last 2 hours. No, we didn't. I'm mistaken. So are you folks, if you thought the same. Coming up next, G4 is bringing another full hour of shows devoted to today's PlayStation 3 launch.
Up next on X-Play, Adam and Morgan are going to bring you the first ever reviews for all the highly anticipated games. They'll be covering Resistance: Fall of Man, which apparently Adam is a huge fan of, 5 out of 5 stars, and Genji.
They've also got Rainbow Six Vegas, Tony Hawk's Project 8, Madden 07. They're really covering everything.
Everything. And now they've got the games. How the hell do you beat them? Following X-Play, there will be a brand new cheat, and Kristen Holt will give you all the tips and tricks you'll need to be a PS3 master.
And that is not all, folks. On Monday, Attack of the Show will be back with a full hour live devoted to the Nintendo Wii. We're going to break down the hardware, the games, the hype. We're going to see if Nintendo's huge gamble is going to pay off.
PS3 Day 1 is far from over, so don't get up from the couch. X-Play starts right after this.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for playing.
Today on X-Play. The PS3 is finally out, and we've got the first reviews. Resistance: Fall of Man, Untold Legends, and Genji: Days of the Blade. Taste the excitement, it's game time.
Prepare to be reviewed. Adam Sessler, Morgan Webb. Prepare to be reviewed. Prepare to be reviewed. This is X-Play.
Hello and welcome to X-Play.
Not just X-Play, but special PlayStation 3 launch X-Play.
Today, a console was launched and takes its first gentle steps towards destiny.
You know, being replaced by another, better, faster console in 5 years.
After over a year of hype, previews, and officially having to withhold judgment until games were reviewable, we, at long last, have come to the point where we can take off the gloves and tell you what we really think of the first games out for the PS3.
And Sony tells us this is next gen, so we're judging it like the next gen.
There's no more going soft on a game just because we're romanced by how many graphics processors the hardware has.
Our first set of games includes some of the most august lineages in gaming, like Madden NFL 07 from the venerable workhorse franchise of sports games, and we've got Gundam Crossfire from the not-so-venerable mech suit franchise. Later in the show, Resistance: Fall of Man, the new shooter from the makers of Ratchet and Clank.
We begin with a fantasy hack and slash that shows us just what the PS3 can do when it comes to kimono rendering. Here's a review of Genji: Days of the Blade. Ah, Genji, about time you showed up. Let's have a look at you. Fearless feudal figures flying through time and space, dispatching hordes of evil. Okay. Beautifully rendered environment shimmering with PS3 energy. Got it. Incredibly sluggish gameplay and a camera that acts like a drunk uncle falling down the basement stairs. We were led to believe the next-gen gaming would be one to rival the great epochs of Japanese history. Genji: Days of the Blade for the PS3 picks up where the title's Dawn of the Samurai dropped us off. A first glimpse reveals the cell's processing power, magic dust, and flickering flame, fake promises that the game's mechanics just can't keep. You'll develop a posse early on to deal death to the eternally wicked Heishi clan, who's trying to squeeze a dark apogee of evil out of this pulsing mystical orifice here. Benki swings what looks like a column torn out of Hearst Castle. He's a nice foil to Yoshitsune when strength's an issue. But overall, old Yoshi's the best all-around choice as he has the fiercest fury. Other characters bring a nice spatial dynamic to gameplay, but also bring particular weaknesses. New directions and abilities are on display, but bring focus to a major flaw in the title. Where am I? The camera in the game is awful. Too many times the title's view is not what the character should be seeing. This flaw was so bad that you had to look at the tiny overhead map to figure out where you were going. Come on, somebody get Next Gen some glasses. And another thing. Why do these seemingly spry, well-conditioned disciples of androgyny move like a mint julep made of molten lead? Get up! Get up! Special moves, once triggered, took too long to resolve, so you can reset and face a foe from a different angle. Maybe that's why so many of them are spin moves. Here's one. When you pull off enough special moves on the field of bravura, you'll be able to take the fight to an alternate world, where you can deliver more damage in a Stardust bullet time ballroom. Careful though, your enemies can make you their date too. There's a million trinkets and ways to level up and increase weapon strength. At times though, you'll confront obstacles you didn't know your character could accomplish. Hey, do you guys know I could do that?
No, I had no idea.
Me neither. The game is pretty and the characters do have some highly visual combat styles. We just expected them to be better balanced with the rest of the game. In terms of a PS3 launch title, let's just say we'd rather be dry humping a large mammal in the back of a Yaris than playing it. A 2 out of 5.
Genji's story is based on the Genji period of Japanese history. Well, we're not exactly sure how, but can you really blame us? Because who knows anything about Japanese history? There were some samurai, they periodically killed themselves, a rat learned judo, and they invented a religion that sanctifies small trees and fat guys wrestling. Then we nuked them. That's what they turned into a real country.
To see what the PS3 can do with a hack and slash that's not bound up with a complex storyline like the vast pageant of Japanese history, here's our review of Untold Legends.
Behold the gestation of a new generation of gaming. Sony suggests that you don't gaze directly at the future. You might want to poke a hole through a shoebox for safer viewing. Untold Legends Dark Kingdom takes this mindless masher to the next generation of gaming and into dark forests and dark caves and dark graveyards. By now you should know why this is the Dark Kingdom, because it doesn't look good in the light. Choose from the generic warrior, a mage without a lock on, and a scout. What, is she looking for a shirt to go with that sports bra? As the story goes, your employer, the king, is actually an evil dictator transforming peasants into monsters. As you can tell by these cutscenes, he's saving a lot by using still images and really blowing it out on all the flame transitions. Untold Legends gives you 2 views of the battlefield, fairly close and somewhere in the trees. I know we complain about camera control a lot in these reviews, but this is not camera control. This is a bad fairground ride, and I want to get off. To break up the tedium second only to that of a Taiwanese sweatshop, Untold Legends throws in a couple of puzzles to impede your progress. That one twitching ganglia still rooted in your midbrain will be treated to a brain teaser with a little more sustenance than the monotonous button pushing that got you here in the first place. Here's my favorite. Barrel throwing. Yes, a puzzle without aiming or camera movement that requires you to accurately throw an endless supply of aluminum at switches from a single vantage point. Okay, enough of this. What's great about Untold? The capes. Just check out that detail. She looks like a shiny block of cheese, but that cape is fabulous. Untold Legends makes for a great fabric simulator. X lets you attack. Barrels explode when you hit them. There is a sewer level. If you wanted more, you would have bought a different game. That's why we're giving Untold Legends for the PS3 2 exploding barrels out of 5. Some legends are better left untold. I know it's an old joke, but when you come up with new mechanics, we'll come up with new material.
Ouch!
Being brutally honest, game critics isn't always fun.
You know, we do wish we were stupid. We wish we were naive enough to act like these games are great and believe it. But we're not.
It's not like we want these games to be bad.
No.
We've been looking forward to the PS3 for years now, and to be disappointed like this, it's kind of harsh.
But you know what? There is one glorious exception later in the show, so stick around because you need this to keep your faith in games.
Up next, Gundam Crossfire. And later, Resistance, Fall of Man on X-Play. Drunk on lush graphics and rye whiskey, it's Morgan Webb.
One of the interesting questions about the next gen is how it's going to deal with the lame rank and file games that get cranked out every week. Your Naruto games, your mediocre first-person shooters, and of course your mech suit games. Can the high-end graphics and motion recognition somehow make these games more than the sum of their cliches? No, probably not. But still, here's a review of Gundam Crossfire.
Back when Sony first unveiled PS3 game footage, Gundam was almost too good to believe. Well, the moment of truth is finally here, and there's only one question left to ask. What the f*** am I looking at?
Looks like our lucky day.
You'd be due for some luck after ending up in this god-awful game. Despite rolling on Sony's cutting-edge next-gen dubs, Crossfire looks distinctly last-gen. Hell, the ground is reminiscent of Armored Core on the PS1. But looks aren't everything, right? Surely there are redeeming features here somewhere. As with many Gundam games, you choose either the Earth Federation or Zeon side and battle it out during the one-year war through horrifically simplistic missions. The lock-on conveniently eliminates the need to aim, so you can just jog around firing at things you can't even see, and you're pretty much guaranteed to hit them.
Enemy approaching the supply depot.
There's an attempt to add some strategy with a damage system to let you blow off various body parts, but since the only way to target specific areas of an enemy is this useless zoom view, you're reduced to firing wildly and hoping you hit something important. In between missions, you slog through mind-numbing menus to manage your hangar of mechs and requisition new recruits. I've had more fun applying grout to floor tiles. Control of all the mechs is sluggish and clunky, and the uncooperative camera is no help at all. Luckily, the enemy isn't really bright enough to pose a significant threat much of the time. What are you doing? You're just standing in my base. Are you two even fighting each other? Everywhere you turn in this game, there's something horrible. I have to warn you, this part may make your eyes bleed. I'm not sure what I like better, the fact that the water behaves like a solid sheet of fabric, or the way it occasionally clips through the nearby ground.
Protect the media.
Media? The word is Medea. Mythological figure? Tragedy by Euripides? Anyone home?
What are you doing?
I'm kicking you to death pretending you're the game disc. It's amazing that Crossfire looks this bad and yet can't even manage to run smoothly. It's not like we expected a Gundam game to knock it out of the park or anything, but this wouldn't even be acceptable on the PS2, let alone as a launch title for the most advanced next-gen system in existence.
I've been hit! It's over!
Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire gets a 1 out of 5 for being shovelware of the highest order. And if you buy it, you're part of the problem.
Unfortunately, we've lost. Critical.
Sony, you are failing me.
But let's not forget, every system takes a while to hit its stride, and in just the past few months, we've seen a number of great games come out for the PS2.
And the 360 has only gotten really good games in the recent past, so maybe the PS3 isn't quite proving itself yet, but it is showing interesting possibilities.
Speaking of interesting possibilities, you guys should swing over by our website and let us know whether you pre-ordered a PS3.
And we're gonna have the results later on in the show, because we love numbers.
In a moment, Madden 07.
Great interception!
And later, Resistance, Fall of Man on X-Play. At long last satiated, it's Adam Sessler.
In the last generation of consoles, some general stereotypes of owners came about. Now, we all sort of understood the Xbox is for guys, because it takes the vast upper body strength of a drunken frat boy to lift one. And the GameCube is for 7-year-old Japanese girls. And the PS2, well, that's for everyone else. But mostly the people who love the pointy-haired RPG characters and/or Madden. Now the PS3 has come out, and it's very heavy. Man-heavy. So it clearly needs the one sports franchise it always owned to prove itself as a man console. Here's our review of Madden NFL 07.
This is setting up to be a great one here on EA Sports Radio today.
As the NFL steadily moves past its halfway point, many new questions have started to emerge. How many Mannings will make the Super Bowl? Or is choking in the playoffs a Manning family trademark? Will Matt Leinart bring his USC success to the NFL, or will he be known as another of Paris Hilton's many conquests? Will Drew Brees lead the New Orleans Saints to the Super Bowl, or will their playoff chances just float away? But the most important question is, how does Madden NFL 07 play on the PlayStation 3? Well, like a Michael Vick run, it's steady, sure-handed, and for Madden fans, not really that surprising.
Scrambled and finds the end zone.
It shouldn't come as a shock to any Maddenite that Madden plays like it does on most other systems. It's pretty much the same as we saw on the Xbox 360.
The marvelous one brings it home for 6.
All the modes Madden's known for are here, with Superstar mode being the most popular. I said Superstar. Oakland Raiders, you wouldn't know anything about that. And the lead blocker is back, a welcome addition to any football game. If you don't know, lead blockers are the ones that get hip replacement surgeries by age 35. But when it comes down to brass tacks, it's still the glory positions of quarterback and running back that are always the most fun to play. Sorry, T.O., it's true. So we've talked about the gameplay.
Great interception.
We've talked about the visuals. We won't talk about the Madden cover jinx because we don't believe in curses. But the big mystery for the PS3, Madden, football, and America is, how does T.O. look? Glorious. Just glorious. So what does it all mean? Well, if you have Madden NFL 07 already, there's no need to get a new one for your newfangled PS3. It's the same Madden as it ever was. We give Madden NFL 07 for the PS3 3 humble wide receivers out of 5.
Madden is just the beginning of the onslaught of licensed sports games we should see on the PS3.
The question is how much motion sensitivity and more powerful hardware are going to push the future iterations of the game.
Now, you can't really judge a console by its launch titles.
Yeah, see, what we mean is we want to see EA Cricket 07 for the PS3. That's the real test of a console. How well it can produce a game version of a team sport that is only liked or understood by people from India, Pakistan, and Jamaica.
And Douglas Adams. God rest his soul.
Moments away. Resistance, Fall of Man on XPlay. They've been waiting for this since November 2000. It's Adam Sessler and Morgan Webb.
I know. It's been a disappointing set of games. All this anticipation, and what we get is a bunch of 2s and 3s. And a 1. Launch games rarely capture the full potential of a console, but in this case, one glorious game did give us a glimpse of the real possibility presented by the PS3. So here is our review of Resistance: Fall of Man.
Hey, it's Killzone. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's an actual game. This is it, Resistance: Fall of Man.
You're with me, let's go!
The premier game for the PS3, developed by the reliable creators of Ratchet & Clank, Insomniac Games. The game takes place in an alternate 20th century, where World War II never got off the ground because some type of virus has unleashed hordes of creatures upon Europe, leaving only a pocket of survivors in Britain.
Kiss air support, goodbye!
America hasn't been affected, but they do get involved, which is where you come in. You fight, and then you get infected, and that's when things get really bad. The game is obviously an action game, and that's with a capital A. Insomniac has thrown in everything but the kitchen sink, with massive battles, corridor crawls, boss standoffs, weapons, and a wide variety of creatures to square off against. All of this is wrapped up in a package that has some of the best pacing ever in a game of its type. But let's get to one important factor, the graphics. This is standard definition, and it doesn't look like much of an improvement. High def does look significantly better, although it's not close to the now comically overstated promises from Sony. That being said, it's a very attractive game whose look sets an effective mood as the tension increases with each ensuing chapter. And tension is at the heart of the game, as some of the large-scale battles with supporting allies feels hopeless and overwhelming, as inventive munitions scream every which way. This is coupled with lonely excursions through devastated locales where careful thought and weapon usage is essential to continue. Plan to frequently vacillate between careful strategy and frantic gunplay. And what weapons you have. True to form, Insomniac has stocked the arsenal with creative death dealers that range from the traditional machine gun and the surprisingly effective shotgun. A special note is the auger, which shoots through walls and becomes more powerful coming out of the other side, while also capable of generating a shield through which you can attack your enemies. I want this alternate reality. Okay, maybe not, because these enemies are something else and really an uncomfortable joy to encounter. From the more humanoid to the terrifyingly immense to the malevolently emaciated, the game shows remarkable creativity in design and implementation, coupled with wicked artificial intelligence that prevents replays from feeling identical. Although this always gets to me. As with Ratchet & Clank, though, the true achievement of the game is the way in which these elements are laid out. You will die often, but the gameplay is so satisfying that frustration is infrequent. A bigger issue is knowing to put down the controller and get to bed, and then get up and start playing again. Saying this is the best game for the PS3 is damning it with faint praise, because look at the competition. But despite elements that might feel borrowed and familiar, there is no other game that combines them with such polish and a sense of adventure. Man, this game is fun. A 5 out of 5.
Resistance Fall of Man manages to give us hope for real competition in the next generation of the console wars.
Resistance has great multiplayer, but since we had to play it before the launch of the console, there wasn't anyone online to play against.
So come look at our web review for a more complete exploration of the multiplayer. And now, here's an X-Play replay.
Genji Days at the Blade got a 2 out of 5 because the camera is terrible.
Untold Legends got a 2 out of 5 because it doesn't look like an next-gen game.
Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire got a 1 out of 5 because it's the worst piece of crap I've seen all year.
Madden NFL 07 is getting a 3 out of 5 because that's what we gave the 360 version, and it's basically the same thing.
And Resistance Fall of Man got a 5 out of 5 because it's a heaping whopping hunk of fun.
This great moment was a presentation of the X-Play Television Network.
You either love it or you hate it, but can you afford it? That's the real question. Wherever you fall in the great PS3 debate, you won't want to miss this episode. We're kicking the tires on Sony's next-gen console and running through launch titles from Tony Hawk Project 8 to Resistance Fall of Man. It's all happening right now on Cheat. Welcome to Cheat, where games are made to be cracked and fun is serious business. I'm Kristen Holt, and in this episode, we're all about the PlayStation 3. And we're ready to do what we do best, cheat. We'll open up everything from NBA 07 to Mobile Suit Gundam, but first, let's kick things off with the eagerly anticipated Tony Hawk Project 8. Tony Hawk's in town, and he's looking for a few good skaters. Do you have what it takes to make his team? Find out in Tony Hawk Project 8 for the PlayStation 3. The goal of this game is to outdo, outrip, and outshred the competition. The prize? A coveted place on Team Tony. Customize your character's look and wardrobe, and let the thrashing begin. The game plays just like its predecessors, with additional tricks and levels. Wow, cool move! So die-hard Tony Hawk fans will feel right at home. Nail the Trick is one of Project 8's brand new features. Use the sticks to flip your board. Once you're in the air, the left stick controls your screen left foot, and the right stick controls the right. The kick flip is a tough trick. Here's how to nail it. Ollie off a ramp and push the left stick down. Hold it there to keep your foot out of the way until the board rotates all the way around. When the grip tape points up again, release the stick to put your foot down on the board and land. Project 8 features an intense open world where you're free to rip through the streets or tear up a half-pipe. Throughout the game, you'll encounter real pro skaters like Rodney Mullen and My Name is Earl's Jason Lee.
Show me you can ride and I'll see what I can do to get you noticed by Tony and his crew.
With a little practice, you'll be busting out sick tricks in no time.
I can totally skate like that. No, seriously, I just don't have my board with me today because, I'm working and everything, and I'm completely awesome at basketball too. Those guys in the NBA, I take them to school and I eat their lunch. Well, in a video game anyway. Here's how to rule the court in NBA 07.
With slick graphics, new game modes, and a lightning-quick pace, NBA 07 goes full court press on the PS3's next-gen capabilities. The Showtime gameplay feature is back, with some major modifications. This year's Showtime focuses more on personal achievements and flash rather than teamwork. Performing alley-oops, dunks, no-look passes, block shots, and fast breaks will increase your meter. Once you perform 3 spectacular moves in a row, your team's energy, shooting, and stamina will receive boosts. On the other hand, if you cause turnovers, miss 2 shots in a row, or the other team calls a timeout, your meter will decrease. NBA 07 also has a new feature called the Replay Mode, which lets you relive exciting moments from last year's NBA season. Each week from the 2005-2006 season is highlighted by 2 challenges you must recreate. For instance, remember that great rally last year when Kobe Bryant scored 29 of his 34 points in the last 18 minutes of the game? This challenge is available in replay mode. Your goal in replay is to score 13 points with Kobe, including 2 2-point jumpers and 2 3-point jumpers. All right, I know what you're thinking. Coach Holt, but what about the new controller? Funny you should ask that. NBA 07 takes full advantage of the PS3's motion-sensitive 6-axis.
LeBron James.
During the offense, you can pull off some sweet moves using this controller. To do the stutter step, push the controller either forward or backwards. And how about the dreaded crossover dribble that was perfected by Allen Iverson? To quickly change direction on your defender, move the controller either left or right horizontally. Use this move to get past your counterpart for an easy J or a sweet dunk.
On our test.
You can also pull off spin moves to get away from a defender. Twist the controller either counterclockwise to spin right or clockwise to spin left. With all these moves in your arsenal, you should have no problem slaughtering the competition. Bring it on, baby! Anybody up for a little samurai action? You're in for a treat. Genji Days of the Blade is up next on Cheat. But first, here's a quick cheat that might come in handy. Do you have the need for speed? Then pick up Ridge Racer 7 for PlayStation 3 for the ultimate adrenaline fix. Use your nitro to blow past your opponents or get up behind them and draft their speed. Either way, make sure you know how to work a manual shift or you're going to be stuck in first gear doing 20. Using the controller, steer the car, and by jolting it towards you, you can drop the hammer and shift the car into higher gears. Now all you have to do is learn how to use the horn. Welcome back to Cheat. All that cell processing power under the PS3's shiny black hood can sure make for some pretty pictures. And there's nothing like a lush, epic voyage through Japan's mythical history to push the console's graphics. Feast your eyes on Genji Days of the Blade. Welcome to Genji Days of the Blade, a game of reenacting the historically based and beautifully rendered battles of ancient Japan. Fortunately for us, modern Nihon was apparently forged from the smoking remains of epic samurai battles. Oh, and giant enemy crabs. Those two. Unfortunately for us, we'll have to wait a little longer for that most ballyhooed of crab bosses. There's a war of attrition to fight first. And boy, is it hell out there. In the Ichinotani Beach mission, you start out at the foot of a great battlefield. Thankfully, that field is much smaller than it looks. The environment may be teeming with fearsome enemies, but there are certain special fellows that you really need to pay attention to. You'll know them by the weird tilty antlers on their heads, and the fact that they appear on the map as yellow arrows. Defeat these guys, and you'll stop the enemy armies from spawning. Defeat the first of the Hattie Baddies that appears right in front of you. Not so difficult, right? Especially if you press L1 to use the Kamui Plane minigame. Okay, now defeat about 15 more over the next half hour. To activate successive phases of the battle, you'll have to kill enough enemies in certain areas, or run to the far side of the map. You'll know you've succeeded when you see a short cutscene like this one. Yeah, man, I know how you feel. Here's some basic tips for staying alive over the course of the ensuing battle. Level your weapons up at the beginning. Work your way east and use Ben K to knock down the fortifications. Keep an eye out for crates containing health and Kamui power-ups and use them judiciously. Do your best to limit the amount of fighting with the cannon fodder. The more you kill, the more will spawn, and you'll have wasted health and energy. Block and walk. It's slow, but effective in limiting damage. When health is low, you can restore it through item use and leveling up. Switch characters and activate super moves, as well as Kamui Plane battles strategically. Here's the last and most important tip. Don't die! Keep an eye on your health, because if you bite the dust, it's back to the beginning of Operation Krabby Freedom for you. And believe me, it's not a war you want to fight twice. So kill, kill, kill until you think the battle couldn't possibly last any longer, and you might rather just die and never see the fabled Crab King of yore. Then, and only then, will he show his mighty face. Ben K will be your man for this battle. Why flip the crab over when you can just whack his face off? A few melee moves from Ben K's club will crack the claws right off that sucker. Use the Kamui Plane minigame to further weaken his armor. A few more well-timed bludgeoning moves, and Krabby McCrabster will be in dire need of some Joan Rivers-style facial reconstruction. It's time to strike his weak spot for some massive damage, people. Poke him in the kisser and he'll drop. From his ruined body, you reap exciting new weapons and a delicious banquet of crab legs. Now, if only someone would just pass the base seasoning and butter.
Now you can take Cheat with you anywhere you go. Just visit G4tv.com/podcast for clips of this and your other favorite G4 shows. We have plenty more PS3 games to show you, including Madden and Mobile Suit Gundam. But first, here's another handy quick cheat.
War is hell. And in Call of Duty 3 for PlayStation 3, you experience that hell, fighting the Nazis through occupied Europe.
Nice work, boys.
Use your grenades, your Tommy gun, and anything else you can throw at the charging Germans. But when the Nazis get close, don't shoot them. Save your ammo and use your gun to knock them out. Tilting the 6-axis to the side, gun butts the nearest Nazi. And trust me, nothing feels better than knocking a kraut on his keister. Now it's time to liberate Paris.
Welcome back to Cheat's All PS3 Blowout. If you thought Madden 06 was intense on your old console, wait till you see what it looks like on the PS3. The gameplay is faster and more intense, and this is the part I really like. It's even easier to fake out your opponent.
Madden 07 gets a next-gen renovation for the PS3, and the bone-crunching fun is as intense as ever. Here's how to blow out your competition with an unstoppable offense. A quarterback has far more responsibilities beyond getting all the hot girls and picking up the biggest endorsement deals. It's his job to keep the defense guessing by mixing things up on the field. Let's look at your passing game. Your goal is to throw off the defenders by making them think you are running when you're actually passing. Throwing in situations like 1st and 10 or 3rd and inches will cause that. You can also call formations that have only 2 wide receivers and 2 running backs. As the defense attempts to stop the run, you can easily throw a touchdown pass. Another powerful tool to use during the passing game is play action. This play starts off by faking a handoff to the running back so the defense will focus on him. Meanwhile, you launch a pass to your receiver. Play action doesn't work too well on blitzes, so be careful when using this play or your quarterback will get sacked. When choosing a target to complete a pass, look for mismatches on the field. Match up your best receiver against the weakest defenders and watch them dart through for a touchdown. Avoid throwing the ball to the receiver if there's multiple coverage. It's a recipe for an interception, and we're not trying to be Drew Bledsoe. Don't forget about precision passing, which is done with the right analog stick. To lead your players, simply move the stick right or left. Move the right analog up to throw the ball high, or avoid interceptions by throwing low. You can also lob the ball by tapping one of the pass buttons. Lobbing works best when throwing the pigskin down the field. Throw bullet passes for hook routes by holding down any of the pass buttons. Passing is great, but this year's Madden has an improved ground game as well. Just like the passing game, your goal is to be unorthodox in order to throw off your defenders. Run in situations like 2nd and 20 when the other team is obviously thinking you're going to pass. You can also trick the defenders by running the ball while using a 3 or 4 wide receiver set. If a team is heavily stacked on one side, flip the play and run the other way. Remember to take advantage of your running backs too. Use the beefy and stronger backs to plow through the middle while using your faster backs to run the outside. Don't forget to use the spin, juke, stiff arm, and trucking moves to avoid oncoming defenders. They put these moves in the game for a reason, people. Finally, use Madden's new lead blocking feature to your advantage. Before snapping the ball, cycle through and select the fullback by pressing L1. After you hike the ball, clear a path for your running back. You can either pancake the defender by pushing your right analog up, or cut his legs out by pressing the right analog down. Press circle to gain control of your running back and head for a touchdown. Hopefully these tips help you score a ton of points, and you'll be heading for the playoffs in no time.
We'll have more from the mighty PS3, including Mobile Suit Gundam and Resistance Fall of Man when Cheat returns. But first, here's another of those quick cheats that all the celebs are talking about. Seriously, Paris Hilton, she loves them. She says they're sexy. In PlayStation 3's NBA 07, you can lead your favorite franchise to the championship or create your own player and watch them dominate Kobe. Shooting, passing, and defense are the foundations to any good player, but someone who knows how to handle the rock will make his team great. Using the 6-axis controller, you can stutter step, cross over that dribble, or just fake out your opponent and drive. Not all of us have that outside shot. But learn these moves and you'll be dunking on LeBron in no time.
LeBron James hits the two-pointer.
Welcome back to Cheat's PS3-a-Palooza. The American workplace is getting so much more casual. If you're a guy, you probably almost never wear a suit anymore. But if you had a mobile suit with a cannon mounted on your head, oh hell yeah, you'd rock that. Mobile Suit Gundam Crossfire is equal parts action and strategy. The action's more fun, but the strategy elements are crucial. Knowing which mech advancements are beneficial can make a difference between life and an exploding mobile suit. Mission failed. First, pick up some extra pilots and mobile suits so you'll have some running mates. Hey, you gotta have friends.
Enemy intrusion. Intercept immediately.
If you're playing for the Xeon forces, your mobile suits will naturally be weaker compared to your enemies. Concentrate on upgrading your defense and weapon attributes. If you play a Federation hero, you'll start the game with good armor. So concentrate on improving your weapon stats for more ammo and attack stats for stronger weapons. The combat here is quick and deadly. Good reflexes just aren't enough. Here are the techniques you can count on in a pinch. Spot an enemy mobile suit from far away. Start sniping away at their legs and you'll literally bring the enemy to its knees. Caught in a close-range slugfest? Target lock your victim and strafe sideways with your handheld cannon. Unload your head-mounted Gatling gun at the same time to unleash twice the damage. Fly towards your target full throttle and bust out your beam saber. One quick thrust once you're in range will do the trick. Remember, when two heavily armed robo-warriors fight, there's only one real winner.
And that's you, the gaming public.
We owe you one.
Imagine a world where World War II never took place, neither did the Great Depression, and Russia never had its communist revolution. That's the world of Resistance: Fall of Man, and it seems like a nice place to live. At least until the chimeras show up. There goes the neighborhood!
Welcome to the end of the world!
It's the 1940s. The brutal chimera war machine has taken most of the world by force. You're an American soldier sent to aid the British against the chimera onslaught and defend humanity's last line of defense. Welcome to Resistance: Fall of Man. There's one requirement in the Battle of Manchester: survive, and we're here to help you do just that. The first thing to remember is to keep moving and keep shooting. This, above all else, will help you stay alive. This map is full of walls and barricades to hide behind, but don't count on those being effective all the time. We'll get to that later. The basic enemy infantry unit is the hybrid. Grenades are very effective against them, especially in large numbers. Remember, the more you kill, the more health they drop for you. So kill, kill, kill. The bullseye rifle can be very effective against enemies taking partial cover in the rubble. To use this gun, aim at your enemy and pull the L1 trigger. You'll shoot a homing tag, which will enable you to hit them no matter where you're aiming. If things get too quiet all of a sudden, beware. It's a sure sign that you're about to be swarmed by a horde of nasty spider-like creatures known as leapers. Try to keep your distance while you pick them off. Blast them with the carbine while you continually circle around, and don't let them get too close or you'll regret it. Take care when you're attacked by steelheads. They use a special rifle called an auger, which can pass through surfaces like barricades. Watch out! You'll know when you're about to get hit when bright white circles appear on the walls. Get out of the way quick. The more surfaces it passes through, the more powerful it gets. Once you kill the steelheads, pick up the auger and make them pay. As an added bonus, the auger also allows you to create an electromagnetic barricade that only you can shoot through. Enemy fire will be blocked for as long as the barricade lasts. When passing through alleys and meadows, beware of mines. There are two varieties: spike mines and concussion mines. Spike mines just need to be destroyed before they explode. The concussion mines, however, will detonate at different levels, so react accordingly. When you reach the final stage of Manchester, again, the key here is to simply stay alive. Grind your way through the enemy troops. The Chimera will drop reinforcements, so try to make short work of them and save your strength for what's coming next. Collect as much health and ammo as you can to prepare yourself for one of the Chimera's most formidable weapons, the Stalker. When engaging the Stalker in combat, try to stay moving. When not in motion, duck for cover as much as possible. If you continue to move, the Stalker's fire will most likely not catch up with you. The Stalker's only vulnerable area is directly behind its head. It will try to protect it by always facing you. Let your fellow soldiers distract it while you sweep around and tag it from the back with your bullseye. Now you can shoot it from any vantage point and still do damage. When you've done a significant amount of damage, the Stalker will begin a missile barrage. Take cover. When the barrage is over, hit it again with the auger from the front. Your fire will amplify through the Stalker's body and hit it where it counts.
That's all for now. I hope you had fun exploring the newest games for the PS3. If you missed any of these tips, visit us on the web at G4tv.com/cheat, or you can write to us at cheat@G4tv.com. Until next time, I'm Kristen Holt, and you've been cheating.